Hell yeah. Hey man, say man, it's Nardo. Yeah. Don't
Yeah, like I was saying, man, we had some technical difficulties. Just getting tapped back in. Where my volume at? This my volume right here. Perfect. All right, hold on. Let me check it out and see how it sounds on the back end. Not bad. Perfect. We back in the building, like I was just saying, man. I'm about to run this swammy wham. I listen to the swam, and then we about to get right back to business. Turn this brother off real quick. Y'all can check out this live show in the back while we vibe out. Get this Okay, I told y'all we back in the building.
yeah.
I don't give a fuck even if I had children.
Don't be so apart when you gazing at a star. He done put his niggas on. He done did it for a squad. He done infiltrated system, send a message to his dogs. Make the call, money in the bag, pick the rental car. Hell no, you can't tag along. Somebody pick this broad up. I'm a boss. What the fuck you thought? These diamonds look like agua. Not the father, but she call me daddy. Sometimes call me daughter. It's no biggie, no I love it when shouted call me Big Papa. Hey, home is so rich, so they really feeling some type of way. Boys fires flaming, make you put away the microwaves. Boys far as cases, we gon' beat them just like Michael say. Squeeze them like some tangerines, orange on my license
Shawty
plate.
said she got some pussy for me. I say run it to me. Whole day spent 1100. It was nothing to me. Thick bitch with no lipstick. Yeah, she talk shit. I don't wanna though. She toxic. I can't stop it. Holding on to my money though. Can't change for a hoe. All I
that
know
gets
is
to
stay
act with.
solid. Keep on my 10 toes. Can't nobody feel me. I done changed my friends. I'm winning mode. The day they ask for loyalty, my trust funds gon' be low. Sometimes you gotta post less on IG just to get it more. They ain't built for goodness, bro. This money shit get physical. They clock it cause it's digital. Was dressed too holy, I got ghosts. Opinions for who talk the most. Most times if it's by the bread, you know they getting toast. Brother in the kitchen spooning holes and he ain't dropping folks. Crack the glass, we make a toast. From his way you see me grow. Change is real, it's meant to show. Used to be real close, but now you turned into a so-and-so.
Real life, yeah, this shit get ugly. We just playing sunny bad days. We preparing for it. Ain't no use in frontin' since life is a bad bitch. I'ma smash it. Mix the L's with the magic. Now we lavish. Turn la mama to my old babe. If she crab me, make that crypto do a somersault. That's gymnastics. I been reeling in and out the matrix on some trap shit. Yeah, the shit get trapped.
Hey, man, say turn the mama to some old bay if she on some crab shit. This man crazy, bro. And then the man Jay Roberts, bro. Yo, yeah. Like, it's like the same thing when niggas used to hoop. Niggas used to do anything. Like even now, niggas trade stocks and niggas trade all this type of different currencies and all type of crazy stuff, right? I always wonder. Same thing with track and field. Like even back in the days when the brother Michael Phelps was 17 and he set a record that hasn't been broken in 20 years. Another brother just broke it just recently, but that's what I be thinking. Think about everybody within that era is amazed, and everybody outside that era is also amazed too. But you know what? You get some time to work towards this. So hopefully this right here sets like a precedent of some sort, right? You know what a precedent mean, right? Some type of some type of dignitary, some type of situation where you say, yo, those are the those are the guys we gotta kind of like how people do shit, like say that some doctors come through and doctors do some shit and they say, yo, that's standard of care right there. Nah, that's the standard care. Like, hold on, why that's the standard? It worked. I'm like, okay, cool, that's the standard. Same shit, bro. Same shit here, bro. It's same shit here. Let me run it back, bro. I'm not gonna run the whole thing back. Like I said, we about to jump into this show. This show got kind of set back. What happened was, I gotta let the folks know. But I tried to connect. I got a bunch of connections. Blah 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 blah. I tried to actually connect a super strong camera to a keyboard, just to try to use some extra space up, and the whole video was glitchy. So yeah, I couldn't even start to record. So the whole time you see me, I was stalling and stuff. Thanks, down. You ever shout out to everybody that stayed through the situation, but hey, you ever seen somebody build a plane while flying it? Oh, you ever seen a nigga ride a bike while building it? This is what this is. This is a little more difficult. But I guess it's easy. You probably seen me do it one day when I started off with a unicycle with just my seat. And then I just kept on building. I put my little front. I got me some little fronts and some little different little railings and the V-bars and down tubes and all type of different stuff. But nevertheless, man, just listen to the goddamn bars.
Loyalty, my trust funds gon' be low. Sometimes you got money though, can't change for a hoe. All I know is to me, whole day spent 1100, it was nothing to me.
Put away the microwaves. Boy, as far as cases, we gon' beat them just like Michael said.
See, that ain't even fair if I don't run brother's dollar, bro. Because it's really short, but the brother say as far as cases, we gonna beat them just like Michael say.
Squeeze them like a squad. Infiltrate the system, send a message to his dogs. Make the call, money in the back, pick the rental car. Hell no, you can't tag along. Somebody pick this broad up, I'm a boss. What the fuck you thought? These diamonds look like agua. Not the father, but she call me daddy, sometimes call me daughter. It's no biggie, no I love it when shouted call me Big Papa, eh? Home is so rich, so they really feeling some type of way. Or as far as flaming, make you put away the microwaves. Or as far as cases, we gon' beat them just like Michael say. Squeeze them like some tangerines, orange on my license plate.
Shawty said she got some pussy for me, I say run it to me. Whole day spent 1100, it was nothing to me. Big bitch with no lipstick, yeah she talk shit. I'm one of those, she toxic, I can't stop it. Holding on to my money though, can't change for a hoe. All I know is stay solid, keep on my 10 toes. Can't nobody feel me, I done changed my friends, I'm winning more. The day they ask for loyalty, my trust funds gon' be low. Sometimes you gotta post less on IG just to get it more. They ain't built for goodness, bro, this money shit get physical. They clock it cause it's digital. Was dressed too holy, I got ghosts. Opinions for who talk the most. Most times if it's about the bread, you know they getting toast. Brother in the kitchen spooning holes and he ain't dropping folks. Crack the glass, we make a toast. From his way you see me grow. Change is real, it's meant to show. Used to be real close, but now you turned into a so-and-so.
Real life, yeah, this shit get ugly. We just praying sunny bad days. We preparing for it. Ain't no use in frontin' since life is a bad bitch. I'ma smash it. Mix the L's with the magic. Now we lavish. Turn the mama to my old babe. If she crab me, make that crypto do a somersault. That's gymnastics. I've been reeling in and out the matrix on some trap shit. Yeah, the shit get trapped out, don't get trapped in.
There you go, man. We in the building. Shout out everybody out that's in the building. Jump into this first article really fast. Shout out to the brother Nada and the brother JY. With the Schwammy Schwams, we try to cover this just recently, but I just think this is a unique situation, and this where this would be and not us. You already know that, right? So let me sometimes you gotta double that. I don't know why they do that. They think they cool. My bad, folks. They think they cool. Let's see. about to jump into this article. I mean, into this little story real quick. Let's see what's going on.
3 Georgia teens are facing murder charges tonight after what police say started as a lover's quarrel and an egging prank that ended with shots fired and a victim dead. Now, police say the 3 teens drove to the victim's house and started throwing eggs. When a 22-year-old man came out to confront the 3, police say one of them grabbed a gun from their car and shot him before driving away. Now, all 3 are in custody and all 3 are facing murder charges, even though only one of them pulled the trigger. I'm joined now by News Nation Law and Justice contributor Jennifer Coffendorfer. Jennifer, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here.
It's good to see you, Natasha.
So, Jennifer, let's start with all 3 facing murder charges, even though police say only one of the teens pulled that trigger. Help us understand that.
Yeah, let me draw this.
Hey, Jennifer ain't gotta draw nothing new. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna flex, bro. Shout out to Jennifer. No, just shout out to Jennifer. This ain't even nothing personal against Jennifer. This something personal against anybody that think Jennifer need to draw any type of parallel or any type of what? How many times have we seen a scene where somebody is sitting outside and somebody goes inside, robs a bank, runs back out, jumps in the guy's car, the car drives off. Oh, this dude has been charged? He ain't do nothing, no. What about the times that people run, they flee, and then somebody hide in their house? You had knowledge that he was in your house. These are all charges. But let's go, Jennifer. Tell us, maybe I'm missing it. Let's hear what Jennifer is gonna say. But listen, what happened, right? There was a egging prank. Let's listen to Jennifer.
This analogy for you. If you go to rob a bank and you get your buddies together and you have one driving the car, you have one standing outside watching for people, and then you have the other one go in and rob, and that one shoots somebody, all 3 are going to be held responsible for felony murder. That's what happened here. They all conspired to take eggs and throw at this house, and they were all present during that conspiracy when that gun was fired and killed that victim.
All right, hold on.
Tell us about the importance.
Pause, Jennifer. Take me out of the mugshot. Fuck, I'm doing in the mugshot. I ain't supposed to be here. These type of people. Because look, put me in the mugshot. Put me in the mugshot. Look at me. Put me right in between this bro right here. Let me I think I don't need to be next to that dude. Yeah, I need to be next to bro. Okay. Just look at the mugshot. Just look at us. It's an egging prank. Egging prank ends in 1 dead. Look, charge. You see that bro over there? Charged with murder. We charged with murder. They charged us with murder. But only one of us did the shooting. Look around. Who you think did the shooting? They might say, yo, bro, your mugshot look kind of weird, though. I don't know why you got your hat on and you're just... See, I can't take my mugshot like this. I gotta be serious with my mugshot. See, but I'm gonna have to have my headset off and... Nah, it's too much mugshot taking. Can I take a mugshot with my jacket on? No, for sure I can take a mugshot with my jacket on. I can. What you talking about? Nevertheless, bro, let's get to the bottom of this simple shit, because I ain't even here to play. Look. They be wanting me to do all filter. Come on, bro. Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. You know, next video that come up, I'm going to have to change it for that one, too. This is nonsensical work, bro. But come on. I'm going to feed into it. Bro. Alright, bomb. I don't know if this is any better, but this is how we look on the mugshot. I ain't got that much grain on me no more. But this young lad, she may have done something, she may have not done something. My brother over here, he may have done something, he may have not done something. We are not sure. I may have done something, she may have done something. She may have done something. I mean, either these 2 ladies or these 2 fellas. So this bro or this bro. Who you think did it? And I will hope you chose the right person. Cuz, let's listen to Jennifer. Over to you, Jennifer.
Of intent here. Can the teens claim that they only went to this house to egg it that night?
No, they're going to be charged. And under the law, even though it seems like a very broad parameter, that's what the law says. If one of your partners, one of your co-conspirators decides to kill somebody when you are doing a felonious assault on a house, you're going to be charged equally for that.
And Jennifer, we know specifically 2 are charged with murder, the other facing a malice murder charge. Can you help us make that distinction? And is there no first-degree murder charge here? Why do you think that is?
Well, there's no first-degree murder charge because clearly from the evidence we have, they came to throw eggs at this house and just to vandalize. And then when things got heated up, when the individual approached them, they went to the car, drew a gun, and shot and killed. So you can see that it wasn't meant to go to murder him, but rather to egg him. So that's why first degree is not on the table in this instance. As far as the other charge being more of a malicious charge, that's going to be the person that actually shot.
The sheriff's office says the investigation is very much still active. What else could they be looking for at this point?
Oh, they need to have all the information, say, from their cell phones so they can show this conspiracy. What did they actually plan to do? Why was that gun in that car, Natasha? Were they actually planning on, if he came out, that they would actually get that weapon and shoot? Because that's what happened. So they're going to be looking for all information to tie in what the actual conspiracy was agreed to.
And very last question, any insight into whether they will be tried as minors or adults?
They'll be tried as an adult. They're 18 and 19. They will be tried as adults. And we'll see, Natasha. What usually happens in a case like this is somebody is going to plea and they will likely testify against the others.
Interesting. All right, Jennifer Coffendorfer, always appreciate your time. Thanks.
Hey, investigation is still up in the air. Investigation is still up in the air, fellas, and everybody that's tuning in. I'm not sure if you're out here to solve any crimes or anything, but the investigation is still up in the air. Why is it still up in the air, you may ask? Oh, simple. Simple and plain. It's still up in the air because Jennifer and nobody else know who fired the shot. That's what they're saying. Look, police. Do you see what the police said? Do you see what? Jennifer back on the screen. Yeah, put Jennifer back on the screen. My bad, y'all. Take me off the screen, everybody. Look, police, as if they had each pulled the trigger themselves. That's how he feel about him right now. Okay.
Thanks so much for being here.
Okay.
They need to have all the information, say, from their cell phones so they can show this conspiracy. What did they actually plan to do? Why was that gun in that car, Natasha? Were they actually planning on, if he came out, that they would actually get that weapon and things got heated up when the individual approached them?
Yes.
Well, there's no first-degree murder charge because clearly from the evidence we have, they came to throw eggs at this house and just to vandalize. And then when things got heated up, when the individual approached them, they went to the car, drew a gun, and shot and killed. So you can see that it wasn't meant to go to murder him, but rather to egg him. So that's why first degree is not on the table in this instance. As far as the other charge being more of a malicious charge, that's going to be the person that actually shot.
The sheriff's office says the investigation is very much still active. What else could they be looking for at this point?
Oh, they need to have all the information, say, from their cell phones so they can show this conspiracy. What did they actually plan to do? Why was that gun in that car, Natasha? Were they actually planning on, if he came out, that they would actually get that weapon and shoot? Because that's what happened. So they're going to be looking for all information to tie in what the actual conspiracy was agreed to.
And very last question, any insight into whether they will be tried as minors or adults?
They'll be tried as an adult. They're 18 and 19. They will be tried as adults, and we'll see, Natasha. What usually happens in a case like this is somebody is going to plea, and they will likely testify against the other.
So she's saying she as confident as somebody could make a human right now. That's what she's telling me. She's saying she's extremely confident that maybe not extremely confident, but knowing these type of folks, she knowing that these folks usually fold. These are folders. These are fucking folders, manila folders, bro. But this
Homeowner
is why
says he
you don't hang out with people unless you have the same plan as them. Right? I don't know what the plan was within this situation, but if you don't have the same plan as people, this is clearly why you don't hang out with them. Just think about what just happened. It could have been either we text each other, planned on pulling up on bro, went to school with bro. It might be a deeper connect who went to school with bro. We gonna exit that. Fuck him. Maybe, maybe not. I don't fucking know yet. We have to go through the phone records. We have to look at everything. In fact, let me take those words back. At the current moment, we are not exactly sure if it was a conspiracy to go kill this guy, if it was a conspiracy to go egg this guy, was it even a conspiracy at all to even, as far as text message wise, as far as provable facts, right? That they were actually conspiring to go do this, right? What if they was just, I guess you would say, why do they have eggs? Why would they be wasting the eggs in this serious times of eggs? I don't know. Two questions. But did you see their skin? Not because I'm trying to be racist, but I think they just got a little more mechanical money. See how I use that different word? You probably don't even know what that means. Cool. Nevertheless, they was egging people. Eggs are expensive. Did they just leave the store, purchase those eggs, and was like, oh, let me go let me go to the spot. Just grab some eggs and go to the spot. While going to the spot, you see a bro house that says egg me. While driving, you get an urge to egg somebody's house. I don't like. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, was the egging conspired, or did I just randomly say, you know what, I'm just vibing today. I just bought some eggs. I really don't want 6 eggs in here. I don't like when I have 6 eggs in the carton. I like to put the eggs on different corners. I start throwing the eggs. I gotta at least get rid of 6 eggs. You feel me? I'm just trying to figure out, are they gonna, you feel me? Is there a possibility to prove any of this? Did we text each other? And once we text each other, that's what I'm saying. It gets a little bit deeper. Why does it get deeper for me? Because I'm explaining to y'all that, did we go to school with him? Where do we know him from to go egg this house in particular? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And if we don't know him from a fucking can of paint, why would there even be a conspiracy to egg his house? I don't even think you're gonna be able to tie a conspiracy like that. That's what I'm saying. Why did they go to that angle? Do they already have something where they're like, oh no, these kids know each other. That kid right there, they went to college. These all college. Like, what's the angle that they have to have that outlook on the scene, right? Where it's like, oh, we need to look if this is a conspiracy, blah blah blah. I guess maybe you're trying to figure out, why do they have a cannon? Well, you 19, you're able to have a firearm. Hold on, 19 is a legal firearm. A handgun? You can get a handgun? I don't know if you can get a handgun. I don't know if they said it was a handgun, but they went from they retrieved the handgun. Nevertheless, they retrieved the firearm and shot this bro. Right? If it was just an egging prank, usually with pranks, like, yeah, I'm telling you, we ain't do this in decades. In decades. Multiple decades. I'm talking about, we haven't done something wild like this. But when we were so small that we were like ants, we used to play something called knock and run. And used to go and used to knock and run. There was never a time in knock and run that you was like, yo, if the dude come out, I'ma punch him. He better not come out. It's like, nah, bro, that's the whole point. You're knocking and running, you pranking him, right? Nah, I'm trying to kill somebody. What you doing when I'm pranking him? Hold on, what? You bothering them and you hoping that they come out so that you can kill them? All right, bro. Last time we're gonna play the game with Brad, cause Brad tripping. That's just the only way I could view it. It should be no person that we around that's so extreme on that side of the game, bro, that they just trying to whack her, bro. Right? It's a prank. Prank's always been one way, bro. You show up to the prank, you you prank. Whenever the prank gets serious, you run. You don't confront the person because you pranked them. You pranked them. You might get hurt. You got to think about that. So maybe they thought about it. That's why there's this whole conspiracy side of the game where it's like, yo, maybe they conspired. Cause why are they so? You feel me? Why they so? Oh yeah, I got my cannon. Hold on, G, you coming out on the aggressive shit after we just egged your house? Hold on. It's wait, it's. I don't know. I guess we just gotta hope the brother's melanated. Not melanemic. Because if not, it just seems horrible. The situation seems horrible, bro. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, folks. The situation seems terrible. But that's neither here nor there. Matter of fact, they didn't even tell me that I could do this. I could have everything right around the same levels. Look, that's green. Everything's supposed to be green. Why would you want to be above green? Huh? Why would you want to be above green? Green is perfect. Niggas don't be understanding how perfect green is. But nevertheless, give me 1 second. Let me go to this right here, fam. Cause I really want y'all to see this. There's no way. Let's go back to the window capture ever known on my screen. Craziness. Craziness is on the screen. What's on my screen now? This ain't craziness. Alright, I got some seriousness on the screen now, fellas.
He hid and waited for the squatter to return. Thanks for joining us at 10 o'clock. I'm Ray Vieva.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Luann Sorrell. Soon enough, those two men came face to face. The intruder bolted but was eventually arrested. Fox 35's Marie Edinger went up to Ocala and spoke exclusively with that homeowner.
I can't sleep without the gun on my person.
This Ocala homeowner isn't sure how long it'll take him to be comfortable in his own home again. Police say Zamoya Brown had been squatting in the house for months and absolutely trashed the place while he was there.
I look at it and all I want to do is cry.
This no trespassing sign didn't do the homeowner any good. He says he was out of town and noticed his electric bill going up. That made him suspicious. But it wasn't until he arrived back at home that he realized what had happened. The day the homeowner got back in town, he says he saw his door ajar, the house disheveled, but no one there. He called police to report some stolen items, including an electric scooter, guns, tools, and documents like his social security card and the deed to his house. He decided to sleep in the closet just in case someone showed up.
Opening my eyes, and here's this guy at the bedroom door. And the door's open about this wide, looking straight down at me. So I freaked. I jumped up with my pistol and said, "Get the out of my house."
The police report recounts the two arguing over who owns the house. The homeowner fired a shot into the floor.
Now he starts saying, you can't do that. You're going to jail. I'm going to call the police. I said, good, call the police. And he did.
He's the one who called police?
Yeah.
When police asked the homeowner if he wanted to press charges, he said at first he just asked if Brown could be trespassed.
I said, I don't want the guy to go to jail. He reminds me of my son in a way. Tall, skinny, too smart for his own good, and dumb as a bag of rocks at the same time.
Brown wound up being charged with trespassing, plus possession of methamphetamine and marijuana. Brown has a court date coming up July 11th. In Ocala, Marie Edinger, Fox 30.
Oh, gee, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Oh, gee, I'm not gonna lie, bro. What doctrine are you studying? What doctrine do you think this brother is studying?
I don't wanna be no dog nigga. Ayy, dog niggas don't live long. She fell in love with a drug dealer. Ayy, cause his money long. I don't wanna be no dog nigga. Ayy, dog niggas don't live long. She fell in love with a drug dealer. Ayy, cause his money long. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Hey, I don't wanna be no thug nigga. I don't wanna be no motherfucking drug dealer. Hey, my little brother was a thug nigga. The last time I seen him was in the pool of blood, nigga. Hey, first you get the money, then the power. These niggas ain't fighting no more, they killing, they some fucking cowards. Hey, it's so easy to pull the fucking trigger, but it ain't easy to do that time with all them other killers. Hey, I don't wanna be no thug no more. Cause the streets ain't got no motherfucking love no more. Hey, don't know if she love me or she love my Zozo. Or she wanna be with a nigga for the fucking promo. I don't wanna be no dog nigga. Hey, dog niggas don't live long. She fell in love with a drug dealer. Hey, cause his money long. I don't wanna be no dog nigga. Hey, dog niggas don't live long. She fell in love with a drug dealer. Hey, cause his money long. You got to secure the bag. We do shit the bag way. Stay down with the money. Had to see this a rat race. Double up at a fast pace. Had to double up when the first pack came. Just to tell them niggas they in last place. The way I walk in your trap and take over, collecting my sack even on the bad day. You bitch fell in love with the spread gang. You bitch fell in love with the spread gang. Roller gang, solo and pie, the whole NLK. We dripping flavors, got a lot of haters. Spread. Look at the ice on my fist. Came in the game with the juice like I'm Chris. She thought we took off, girl, you don't wanna miss. In my Haitians at you, you know they don't miss. Drug dealing, living, and ain't no regrets. My niggas don't flex by the sack. They'll take your head off your neck. These niggas be lying for respect. These niggas be dying for respect. In my city, my face gator, nigga, fuck a vest. When I came in this shit, I put a name on it. You niggas ain't thugging like we living, so go on and put a ticket on it. Just like that gas bag when it gets shipped off. Catch it like a pig, like my nigga Clint Dix. I don't wanna be no dog nigga. Hey, dog niggas don't live long. She fell in love with a drug dealer. Hey, cause his money long. I don't wanna be no dog nigga. Hey, dog niggas don't live long. She fell in love with a drug dealer. Hey, cause his money long. Hey. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Where's the technical?
What do I say when I see a fine girl and I'm trying to say what's up?
We say darling, when you tryna link man, I ain't into talking stuff.
What do I say to somebody that's hating and be talking tough?
We say Dukey's chatting crud, but he don't know the dogs them rough.
What do I say when she look good and she tryna hang?
Say she a lang one, oh she a Barbie, baby come chill with man.
What do I say when I'm with the squad, when I'm with the gang?
Say I'm chilling with bros, I'm chilling with a man, or I'm chilling with a fam. Yeah. You might say you got clips and straps, but we got whaps, mash, hammers. You might say you just cracked up card, but we do 4-1 now with scammers. More time do roll with a kitchen knife, we call them nanks, shanks, daggers. You might call that girl their trees, we call her Jezzy, ho, badders. We don't slide around town in a hot car, I'm with a man, then we're in a dimmer. We got the same phrases for a rap, if that boy snitch, we call him a singer. If I say my guys too active, trust me bro, he's a violent nigga. You got choppers and glizzies, we're leaving them dizzy, my bro got a rusty spinner.
What do I say when I see a fine girl and I'm trying to say what's up?
We say darling, when you tryna link man, I ain't into talking stuff.
What do I say to somebody that's hating and be talking tough?
We say Dukey's chatting crud, but he don't know the dogs them rough.
What do I say when she look good and she tryna hang?
Say she a lang one, oh she a Barbie, baby come chill with man.
What do I say when I'm with the squad, when I'm with the gang?
Say I'm chilling with bros, I'm chilling with a man, or I'm chilling with a fam. Yeah.
Touchdown in the UK and I finally know what to do. She a lane one, she a Barbie, baby girl, I'ma pull up on you. She wanna chill with the guys, she wanna chill with the mountain. If they want smoke, we slide, we gon' be spinning around them. What do I say when I see a fine girl and I'm tryna say what's up?
We say darling, when you tryna link, man, I ain't in no talking stuff.
What do I say to somebody that's hating and be talking tough?
We say Dukey's chatting crud, but he don't know the bars them rough.
What do I say when she look good and she tryna hang?
Say she a lang one, oh she a Barbie, baby come chill with mine. Yeah.
What do I say when I'm with the squad, when I'm with the gang?
Say I'm chilling with bros, I'm chilling with a man, or I'm chilling with a fam. Yeah.
Baby, come fly in my A. Hustle out the country, don't give a fuck where you stay. Shawty say she from the A. 100 on the dash, cat pet, yeah, she actin' brave. You never felt the amazement. Got a nigga rockin' all this drip like I'm rockin' a baby. Stacey R. Dash, Renee Haley, Ashley Caden. Ashley, her name is Bailey. I don't know cause I've been stacking money daily. Gotta know how much the diamonds on the AP. I put 80 crypto, made about 280. Got it off the porch, I got it off the pavement. I don't want the horse, somebody come and save me. Clearly she want more, I'm clearly hella wavy. My interior brown, that shit looking like Raven. I'm popping my shit, I guess that's why they hate me. Got more than your nigga, got more than his earnings. I be with some millionaires, that's why I'm learning. Can't eat on my plate cause I
yeah. Listen. Just bought a coupe, cause that old coupe, he just don't wear the same. I'm sipping drink, it got me feeling like an old school jam. This a new feature out your speaker, we are not the same. I hit the gas, I'm rolling fast, the demons after me. Elevating my grind, all it took was some time. Please don't dim down my shine. You can't do it quite like this. You can try all you like. You can't do it like I don't fuck with the hype. Do I look like a sidekick? You can't do it quite like this. You can't do it quite like this. You can't do it like I don't fuck with the hype. Do I look like a sidekick? 808 hitting like it's a KO. Yeah, that bunny keep calling my ringtone. I ain't got no time fucking with groupie hoes. Rather chill with my queen fantasy at home. Cause these niggas be creeping and snitching now. Yeah, I'm on my way up, don't you shoot me down. Gotta keep me a clip with a 30 round. Cause my title hold weight and they want the crown. Elevating my grind. All it took was some time. Please don't dim down my shine. You can't do it quite like this. You can try all you like. You can't do it like I don't fuck with the hype. Do I look like a sidekick? You can't do it quite like this. You can't do it quite like this. You can't do it like I don't fuck with the hype. Do I look like a sidekick?
Smoke one, pop two, drink three. Strike one, strike two, strike three. Swinging, missing that addiction. I've been seeking some conviction, cause I need more. A nigga like me got goals on his list. Got the pussy on pause, put a hold on the bitch. While my
Americans are tired of not knowing who their politicians are as people. And we are certainly tired of being fed these same scripted 5-minute sound bites that the mainstream media offers us. We need to get this country on the right track, and we need to do it fast. This is an open platform. You all know that. And I'm inviting any and all presidential candidates a platform to tell their story, tell their views, and spread their word on a platform where a host does not get in the way. I'm your guy. With that being said,
that gets to act with impunity against people that it doesn't like. And that nevertheless has developed over many, many years. And I think part of the reasons it's developed is because Congress has neglected its oversight function. They have not used the power of the purse to discipline agencies that abuse its power. And then presidents have indulged in the canard that somehow the DOJ and the FBI are, quote, independent agencies that they can't be involved with. They're not independent. These are agencies that report to the elected president of the United States. When you say an agency is independent, you're saying that it should be unaccountable. Why would you want the agencies that have guns and can put you in jail to be unaccountable? Those are the agencies that are most needed to be held accountable. So we'll come in on day one, new FBI director, cleaning house at the Department of Justice, and that's going to include parceling some of these agencies out into other parts of the country, because I think the accumulation of power in DC has been very, very bad. I think it's politicized the agencies, and I think they've really lost their way to where they represent kind of an elite faction of society, and they give disfavored treatment against people who aren't involved in that aspect of society. But I'm going to be very focused and disciplined in dealing with those agencies, and we are going to make sure we hold them accountable for their conduct. And I guarantee you, you're going to see major, major changes very, very soon. But we can't have this situation where the government is just out of control and we just throw up our hands and say, well, there's nothing we can do about it. They're independent. No, this bureaucracy has imposed its will on us for far too long. When I become president, we are going to impose our will on it.
You know, a lot of Americans they're scared of the DOJ. I have friends that have been through it. The Blackwater guys have been through it. My buddy Eddie Gallagher has been through the weaponized DOJ. And a lot of people are scared to speak truth or speak to their values because of they don't want to wind up on the radar. And what I want to ask you is, you're getting vocal about this already. Are you worried that the FBI or the DOJ is going to interfere in your campaign?
Look, any of that is possible, but I think at the end of the day, a leader's got to lead. I've got to speak the truth, and I got to let people know what I'm going to end up doing. And one of the things I think with folks that have been caught up in this that's important to point out is when they go after you, look, if you're totally innocent, I do have faith in the jury process. You know, they can lose cases. I think the issue, though, is the process itself can be the punishment. Because if they just decide to target somebody, they can bankrupt you. They can ruin your life. Even if you end up getting acquitted at a jury trial, everything that goes into that. And I think there should be some accountability for how those prosecutors are wielding power, especially if they're doing it for political reasons. And what we're supposed to have in this country is, obviously, we want to be tough on crime. We want to deter crime, but crimes happen, right? So you investigate a crime. Most of it's going to be state and local, but there are federal crimes that are created. Okay, investigate, identify who did it, and then you can hold accountable. I think what happens with DOJ and FBI is they identify people they don't like. And then they look for things to be able to try to bring against them. And that is not the way the rule of law is supposed to function.
You talk about revoking security clearances of more than 50 former officials. What officials would be that 50 that fall into that category, those 50?
I think some of them would be the ones that signed that letter during the 2020 election, saying that the Hunter Biden laptop was, quote, Russian disinformation. That was a lie. There was no evidence that it was Russian disinformation, and they were playing off their positions with the intel and defense communities to interfere in a presidential election. I think that was dishonorable. I think it was dishonest, and I think you should lose your clearance. I also think that this carousel of people who will serve in like the intel agencies, and then they're on CNN, and then back and forth and laundering information, I think it's a big problem. A lot of these agencies aren't doing a good job of keeping secrets, and that's not the way you run a government. So we would absolutely look for people that have behaved inappropriately and yank those clearances.
You know, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but on top of all that, you see active shooter after active shooter and all these mass shootings happening, and time again, the FBI's been tipped off on these guys, and they're not doing anything about it. do you see yourself forcing them to get more involved with what's going on the home front rather than this rhetoric that we hear every day?
100%. I mean, part of the reason we're doing what we're doing against weaponization is, of course, it's just inappropriate for, say, the FBI to be working with Facebook and Google to censor political speech. It's outrageous. So it's an abuse of power. But it's also just the fact that the opportunity cost of that means you are not putting effort into dealing with these bread and butter offenses. And I absolutely think that they have dropped the ball on those types of cases. And that's where they need to be focusing their efforts. The core mission of federal law enforcement: get out of the politicized topics. Don't worry about things like, quote, misinformation, because basically misinformation with DC elites are just inconvenient truths to their agenda. And those are the people they want to go after. So it'll have, I think, double benefit. One will be people will be freer as a result of railing these guys in. But I do think we'll be able to focus their efforts to things that are really going to matter for keeping people safe and doing it. And I think it's, as much as I hate to think about this, you look at how many millions of people have come across that southern border from all across the world, including Middle Eastern countries. I got to think that, you're going to end up seeing a terrorist attack from somebody that came across that southern border. I don't think you could have that many numbers and not have somebody that has those ill designs. So they need to be focusing on things, the threats to this country, rather than the other things they've been getting involved in.
Well, that's a great segue into what I want to talk about next, which is the southern border. So I've heard you say that you'd like to send U.S. forces into Mexico to combat the drug cartels. How would we do that?
Well, we're going to do a couple things. Day one, we're going to declare a national emergency. That'll allow us to mobilize all available resources at the border, including the military, and we're going to shut down the invasion. We will build a border wall, which I think is necessary, but we're going to reestablish the sovereignty of this country. Now, in the process of doing that, we just have to face the facts that these drug cartels have been exercising more control over our border than our own federal government in many respects. In fact, in some of these areas, Biden has the Border Patrol off the border. They hang out in town and they process illegal entrants. What I saw in Arizona was I actually saw there was a border wall with these steel beams, and the cartels would actually cut through the fortified steel beams, run right through with all the product, and no one would do anything about it. And so when we see things like that, our folks, Border Patrol and/or the military, they're going to be authorized to use lethal force. If you take these people out when they're doing that, they are not going to want to move fentanyl into this country if that's the risk. They do it because they don't get any blowback. Now, we're also in a situation where tens of thousands of Americans are dying every year because of the fentanyl that is being brought across the border by the drug cartels. That is massive, massive loss of life. I don't think you can just sit idly by and let that to continue to happen. And so we'll reserve the right to be able to.
Man, shout out to DeSantis, bro. I want them to tell you about DeSantis, bro. He's a damn good politician. And I be confused what people be wanting. It's like a nigga like listening to rap, but he don't like good rappers. Right? DeSantis is about policies, bro. Like, you hear this man, bro? This man seems like he's like doing like a class. Shout out to DeSantis, bro. This man seems like he's doing a class right now, bro.
So, Don Tripp, really? Like, that song is okay.
Yeah, you guys play it a lot here.
Don't talk to me. We play a lot around here.
It's just one song.
But he has the personality of a frog, a dead frog. He has no personality.
Like in the biology class, like they about to cut him open?
Yeah, he sat in that very same seat. We had to burn the seat to get the personality back afterwards. What did we miss about Don Tripp? Because I think all of us thought it's a nice song, it's clearly a message to it, but I don't think any of us came away feeling like this guy is the future.
We put him on the cover because we want him to get his baby back. That was his advocacy.
Enough with your amusing answers.
I think with Tripp, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's in the
Godspeed on the way, but in the meantime, let me give you little guys a little time to prepare for a brawl. Nigga, my hit list
bitch looking like a grocery list. I'm about to start picking niggas off. I got so much bread, I got hitters on call. Hot lead and the rapper makers ice undog. All about the paper, motherfucker label. I cut my own check on my motherfucking salt. I answer to me, I call myself boss. Boss, can I put some time in to take off? Fuck is you thinking? You take a vacation, these haters gon' swear that your shit falling off. My kids miss their father, my youngest a toddler. I left for 2 weeks, I came back, she was walking. You know how that feel? I seen it too often. Trying to please y'all, and I almost lost it. Time to get back to what matter most. I just let the money catapult. From the center of the jungle, got a meal on my mind, and you looking like an antelope. Never forgetting where I'm from, but I come from the slums. I ain't never going back, bro. Hi, my name is Chris Wallace. I'm addicted to the dollar, staying rich, the only antidote. Godspeed.
Godspeed, June 23rd. Godspeed on the way, but in the meantime,
stay over there on your side. I'm warning you for the last time. Your bitch got my picture in her room like a shrine. I feel so heavy, she called me the Dom. I click like a mob, we do what we want. Flipping that dough like a fucking baton. Whenever I'm home, I feel like a god. I read every book but the Holy Quran. Gave so much money to mama and squashed all our drama. I'm lining up all my good karma. My son getting smarter, he tutors my daughters. If that ain't success, what you call it? Try if you wanna. Stand eye to eye with a monster and see who'll be first to go under. Cause ain't no more warnings, it's gonna take an army. You can't win a war with a suicide bomber. Don't get the picture too focused on selfish. I'm at that bread like I just bought a deli. I could write a book about how to get fed, but please read the warnings, results may vary. On top of my cream like peanuts and cherries, and my only wish is to fuck Holly Berry. She getting older, so I better hurry. If I hit her once, she gon' wanna remarry. If I hit the trunk, it's gon' turn to a rally. The lead of your legs, let's see who the fastest. So in the clashing, I brought extra maggots. If I shoot you now, you gon' shit in the baggie. Bitch, I got drive like I work in the taxi. Respect my domain, I'm not talking GoDaddy. Just shut the mail, so I cut off them apples. Now I'm on my way to the bank, laughing madly. Goddamn it, got speed.
Godspeed on the way, but in the meantime,
man, shout out to Don Trip, man. Shout out to DeSantis.
To bring direct action as appropriate to these cartels. And I think if you show that you're willing to do that, you are going to create a whole different situation. Right now, they operate with impunity, and Americans are dying, and that's just unacceptable.
Let's talk about the China threat. You consider China to be the #1 threat to the United States. There's they have us on so many different angles. They're coming up through our southern border. They're teaching the cartels how to make fentanyl. They're putting bases up in Cuba right next to your state in Florida. They own the supply chain. How are we even going to begin to deal with them?
One, recognize that they are infiltrating our society. So do things like we did in Florida. Americans are dying, and that's just unacceptable.
Let's talk about the China threat. You consider China to be the #1 threat to the United States. There's they have us on so many different angles. They're coming up through our southern border. They're teaching the cartels how to make fentanyl. They're putting bases up in Cuba right next to your state in Florida. They own the supply chain. How are we even going to begin to deal with them?
One, recognize that they are infiltrating our society. So do things like we did in Florida. No Confucius Institutes at our universities, no CCP influence, funding research at universities, and no purchase of land. We actually prohibited CCP-related entities and individuals from purchasing land in Florida, not just farmland, any land. I think we need to do that all across the United States.
So yeah, I'm not, like I said, I always try to figure out what's our angle, right, as far as the brother DeSantis. Because right now, what angle would you be able to use? The brother said he don't even want CCPers. He don't even, he's saying that, and man, let me run him back, because maybe y'all ain't hearing him, man. Maybe y'all might say, that's what I'm saying, bro. Politics-wise, policy-wise, the man got, he got the chops. The thing is, bro, if it was never a Trump, You see what I told y'all about standard of care earlier? Earlier we had the cast when we was going live, and I was telling y'all about standard of care. This is what I'm telling you, bro. Donald Trump came in. Now it's like a standard of care. So like, if you start acting like the way DeSantis act, come on, bro. That's who y'all supporting. That's who y'all supporting. Here's your king ass nigga. So yeah, it's hard, bro. After a brother like Trump come out with so much flair and so much going crazy, right? But are you listening to the policies? Because I'm hearing people say, "Yo, with DeSantis, bro, we not gonna have nothing." Bro. So, would you be saying that he's doing this just for strictly redneck white people? My next to red, huh? Is that who this is being done for? My next two reds? I don't get the angle right here on the DeSantis hate. But hey, let me just run it back just so y'all can hear some policies.
No Confucius Institutes.
Right now, I'm even thinking about what. No, I say it. No Confucius Institute. No Confucius Institute. What? What's wrong with Confucianism? Not Confucianism. Confucian. Right? Confucius, the one the fucking bro. You everybody know Confucian, man. Everybody know Confucianism. Yo, let me figure out some of the basic tenets, bro, of Confucianism, bro. It's just crazy, bro. Cause I don't like that. I'm not. Just let me run it down for y'all real quick, bro. It's a system that is taught and behavior originating in ancient China, and is variously described as a tradition, philosophy, religion, way of governing, with just like every fucking other goddamn isms, right? So I don't know, Christianity, nigga, all these Johns are technically practices, so to be the same shit. So that's neither here nor there. Let me figure out some main tenets. Some main tenets. A Confucian a Confucian revival began during the Tang Dynasty, 1618 through 1907 CE. In the late Tang, Confucianism developed in response to Buddhism and Taoism and was reformulated as Neo-Confucianism. This reinvigorated form was adopted as a basis of the imperial exams and the core philosophy of the scholar official class in the Song Dynasty from 1960 to 1297. The, the abolition of the examination system in 1905 marked the end of a official Confucianism. The intellectuals of the new culture movement of the early 20th century blamed Confucianism for China's weakness. They searched for new doctrines to replace it. Three principles of people with the establishment of the Republic of China and the Maoism under the People's Republic of China. Exactly, this is my boy Mao. They had Maoism. Wow, crazy over there. Confucian in the late 20th century, Confucian work ethic has been credited with the rise of East Asian economy, with particular emphasis on the importance of family and social harmony rather than on an outwardly source of spiritual values. The core of Confucianism is bro, that's a dumb word, bro. Humanism, bro. A stupid word, bro. Crazy word to try to use, bro. Humanism is philosophical stance that emphasizes the individual and social potential and agency of human beings, whom it considers the starting point for serious moral and philosophical injury. That makes sense to me. That ain't bad. According to American philosopher Herbert, conceptualism. This man he hit me with old big giant crazy ass word, bro. Let me look this word up, boy. Oh, concepts. Man, bro. Yo, conceptualizations of Confucianism as a philosophical system which regards the secular as sacred. Confucianism transcends the dichotomy between religion and humanism, considering the ordinary activities of human life, and especially human relationship, as a manifestation of a sacred, because they are the expression of humanity's moral nature, which has a transcendent. Hold on, what's going on, bro? What am I missing, bro? I need to go in, bro. What they been doing through? Let's see in history, bro. Who how many people they killed or some shit, bro? This is madness. This is madness, DeSantis. Why you don't want no Confucianism, bro? Cause it sound like Confucianism as his cosmic will with the Zhao dynasty, which overthrew the Shang. The name for the supreme godhead became Tian, which means heaven, while the Shang identified Shangdi as their ancestor. You know these niggas is the Song dynasty. You know them boys blacker than the. I gotta go check them boys out, man. Them boys blacker than the mug, bro. You could even see him right here, bro. Shangdi, also called simply D. That nigga the one, nigga. D1. The ancestor god, the Zhao transformed this claim into a legitimacy based on moral power. The mandate of heaven in Zhao theology, Tian had a singular earth progeny but bestowed divine favor on virtuous rulers. Zhao king declared that their victory over the Song was because they were virtuous and loved their people, while the Song were tyrants and thus were deprived of power of Tian. Hey, shout them out. Shout them out. Confucianism rise. Philosophy in the Warring States period, both inside the square, focus on endorsed rituals, and outside the square, non-aligned to state ritual, built upon Confucius' legacy. Compiled in Analects and formulated the classical metaphysics that became the lash of Confucianism. In accordance with the master, they identified mental tranquility as the state of Tian, or the one, which is each individual, is the heaven bestowed divine power to rule one's own life and the world. Going beyond the master, they theorized the oneness of production and like reabsorption into the cosmic source, and the possibility to understand and therefore reattain it through meditation. This line of thought would have influenced all Chinese individual and collective political, mystical theories and practices thereafter. I don't know. Let me see governance, bro. Maybe it's a big thing with the government. Confucianism, despite supporting the importance of obeying national authority, places their obedience under absolute moral principle that curbed the willful exercise of power rather than being unconditional. Submission to authority was only taken within the context of the moral obligation that ruler had towards their subjects. In particular, benevolence, Confucians, including the most pro-authoritarian scholars such as Zunzai, have always recognized the right of revolution against tyranny. Alright, so I don't know, bro. DeSantis, bro, you might be missing the ball on this one. I don't know. It might be a better one to go get. Cause like, what are you saying this is doing though? Like, I gotta figure out the criticism. Let me get some criticism right now. In the new cultural movement, Liu Zhang criticized Confucianism for shaping Chinese people into the condition they had reached by the late Qing dynasty. His criticisms are expressed metaphorically in the work Diary of a Madman, in which traditional Chinese Confucian society is portrayed as a feudalistic, hypocritical, socially cannibalistic. Goddamn, that's what the man's saying about y'all boys. Despotic, fostering a slave mentality, favoring despotism, lack of critical thinking, and blind obedience and worship of authority, fueling a form of confusion, authoritarian. Man, this nonsensical fucking word, bro. A nigga with a lot of authority trying to rule over you, bro. Yeah, which persists into the present day. Leftists during the Cultural Revolution described Confucians as the representative, bro, of the class of slave owners. So describe Confucius as the representative of the class of slave owners. Woman in Confucian thought. Confucianism largely defined the mainstream discourse on gender in China from the Han Dynasty onward. The gender roles prescribed in the 3 obedience and 4 virtues. What's going on with this? Is a set of moral principles and social code of behavior for maiden and married women in East Asia, especially in the ancient and imperial. Women were to obey their father's husband and son, and to be modest and moral in their actions and speech. Some imperial eunuchs both observed these principles themselves and enforced them in imperial harems, aristocratic households, and society at large. First appeared in the Book of Etiquette and Ceremonial, and in the Rites of Zhao, respectively, which codified the protocol for an elegant and refined Chinese culture. The protocol was originally meant to define the various parts of a harmonious society and not intended as a rule book. This code has heavily influenced ancient and imperial China and influenced other East Asian civilizations such as Japan and Korea, as prescribed East Asian social philosophical thoughts even into the 20th century. 3. Feminine obedience. A woman is obligated not to act on her own initiatives and must submissively obey or follow her father at home before getting married, her husband after getting married, her son after her husband's death. The 4 feminine virtues: feminine conduct, feminine speech, feminine works. Don't do they got anything just describing this. Behavior in range of actions. A mannerism made by comportment. Female comportment. Okay. The first known female Chinese historian elaborated on these in her treatise Lessons for Women. I gotta go read all my Chinese books now, bro. Speaking about these 4 woman virtues requiring neither unparalleled talents nor exceeding brilliance. Woman's speech requires neither rhetorical eloquence nor sharp words. Woman appearance requires neither a beautiful nor a splendid look or form. Woman's works demands no unsurpassable skills. Exhibit tranquility. unhurried composure, chastity, which is Zen, and quietude. Huh. So this is a neat one. Quietude. What is this, John? Do they got like a definition for this shit now? A state of silence. What it is what it is, eh? Quietude. Yo, that's my new word. Matter of fact, word of the day. Quietude. I'm gonna put it on the back of the screen, but I'm gonna put it in the back of the screen. I'm just gonna keep on reading this right now. We just randomly got off into this trying to cover the brother DeSantis, and I was saying he got some good points, but now I'm trying to figure out what is so bad about Confucianism. So he put me down this path. Safeguard the integrity of regulations. Keep things in an orderly manner. Guards one's actions with a sense of shame. In movement and rest, it is always done in proper measure. This is what is meant by woman's virtue. Choose words carefully. When speaking, never utter slanderous words. Speak only when the time is right. Then others will not dislike one's utterance. This is what is meant by woman's speech. Wash. Guan. Wash. Clothes that are dusty and soiled, and keep one's clothing and accessory always fresh and clean. Bathe regularly and keep one's body free from filth and disgrace. This is what is meant by woman's bearing. Woman's bearing. Concentrate on one's weaving and spinning. Love no silly play nor laughter. Prepare wine and food neatly and orderly to offer to the guests. This is what is meant by woman's work. This brother right here, bro. The 3 fundamental bonds and 5 constant virtues. These boys crazy over here. And these boys is, when I say crazy, I guess crazy is a bad word. These boys legendary. Man, this is a good one. It's a good one. And the cold part is, right, this is the young lady right here. This is Banzhao. Bazao. She came in and she was doing some little stuff. She was a neat little Chinese lady. Family. Banzhao was born in Angling, near modern Zhejiang, Shanxi province. At age 14, she married a local resident named Chao Shinshu and was called in the court by the name as Venerable Madame Cao. Her husband died when she was still young. She never remarried, instead devoting her life to scholarship. She was a daughter of the famous historian Ben Bao and young sister of the general Ben Chao and historian Ben Gu. Oh, that's a whole family of Ban. These are Ban people. She also was grandniece of notable scholar and poet Consort Ban. Everybody Ban. Banzhao contributed greatly to the completion and transmission of Hanshu, history of the former Han. Hanshu, literally the book of the former Han, the official dynasty history of the Western Han. After Ban Gu was imprisoned and died in 92 because of his association with the family of Empress Daojian, Banzu helped finish the work. Okay, yes, and then like I said, she went on to write Lessons for Women. Modern interpretation of Lessons for Women indicated that it is a founding text of the Confucian feminism. One study notes that it established a different concept of agency forged out of powerlessness of individual woman, which is familial, communal, indirect, and conferred by others. She taught Empress Deng Su, a member of the court in a royal library, which gained her political influence. The Empress and concubines gave her the title Gifted One, and the Empress made her a lady in waiting. As the Empress became regent for the infant, Emperor Shang of Hao, she often sought the advice of Banzu. In gratitude, the Empress gave both Banzu's sons appointments as officials. Banzu was a librarian. In 113, Benzel's son Changcha was appointed as official. After her death, the daughter-in-law gathered her works. A Venus is named after her. This fucking. Oh, so she has a crater on Venus named after her? That's what they telling me. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To think about you should know. Now what they mean, confusion feminism though. Yeah, this is super simple. Like I said, First John was humbleness defined the relative nature position between the male and female sex. Accordingly, the female was deemed to be the more submissive of the two, and naturally the more humble. A husband must govern with dignity, and a wife must serve her husband wisely, so that a wife may know how to serve her husband. Daughters should be educated, husband and wife. Which one is this? Fufu? So you got respect and caution, as defined by the yin-yang duality in Yang's. Man's hardness is his virtue, whereas in Yin, woman's gentleness was an asset. Husband and wife should mutually respect each other. Simply the qualification deemed necessary for the ideal woman. Whether in her virtue, her type of work, or the words she uses. Womanly virtue, womanly speech, womanly appearance, plus womanly work. In wholehearted devotion, this was usually depicted by the woman's devotion to the husband. For example, if the husband were to die, there would be no remarriage for the widow. This was deemed to be the most virtuous task in later dynasties. And there's implicit obedience, a section that is dedicated. To obedience towards the mother and father-in-law. Harmony between the younger in-laws. Benza also wrote on the four described. There are four edifying behavioral characteristics for women. The first is womanly virtue. The second, she does not distinguish herself in talent and intelligence. What is womanly speech? She does not. Okay. So yeah, she's saying the main thing is she don't try to stand out too much. She try to just be respectful to the space that she's in.
At our universities, no CCP influence, funding research at universities, and no purchase of land. We actually prohibited CCP-related entities and individuals from purchasing land in Florida, not just farmland, any land. I think we need to do that all across the United States. Second, we need to regain our economic independence from China. This whole idea of putting them in the World Trade Organization and granting them most favored nation status many decades ago has been a failure. We were promised that they would end up becoming more democratic and peaceful, and in reality, they were able to build themselves into the dominant manufacturing power in the world. We are now dependent on them for key materials and products that we need to sustain our country. We saw it during COVID with almost everything needing to come from China. We get materials for nuclear weapons from China, for ammunition, all these things that have put us in a very, very vulnerable position. So we need to decouple from China. It's not something you can just do on day one, but we will identify the key industries, and we are going to build more of that industrial base here in the United States. And then finally, militarily, look, the Chinese, they respect hard power. particularly hard power in the Indo-Pacific. Japan is building up more. I think Korea, India, I think are going to be with us. I think we have an opportunity to have an American-led coalition of folks that are concerned about the CCP and recognize the threat. But ultimately, the United States is going to have to do more to project power in the Indo-Pacific, particularly with sea power. So that's going to require an investment. But I think we've got to do it. We've got to be able to produce more ships. They're able to produce so many more ships than we're able to right now. You know, we're down under 300 ships. We had almost 600 ships during Reagan's time, and China sees that as a weakness, and that emboldens them to take action. I believe the way you deter conflict with China is to have enough hard power that they make the calculation that it's not worth messing with the United States or our allies. And I don't think we're on that right road now under Biden. We will be when I become president.
Yeah, I don't think we're on any right roads with Biden.
Amen to that.
Yeah, Governor, I really appreciate your time. I do want to say people really want to know who you are. They want to know who the man is, who the governor is. And I would love to get you here. Nobody's going to give you a better interview than I am. I'd love to highlight your military service, what you've gone through with your wife and your family, and your entire governorship. I would love to do it.
Okay, well, we should get it done.
Perfect. Well, best of luck to you. I hope to see you again, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, Godspeed.
I'm the type to get that shit up less than 5 days. What's up?
Hey, that's it, man. Stand on that, bro. You gonna be talking about you gonna show up, bro. Don't say you gonna be showing up.
Hey, now what's up? I just whip me up 2 fried bologna salmons, I'm thuggin'. I can't tuck my tail, this glizzy on your ass in the public. I call this premeditated, I won't flash out for nothing. Roll my dice in the corner, we holler girls with, bitch. I got 4 in the blender outside for sure, shit, bitch. If she when she gone, nigga, we sip that syrup, strand Trish. Give me 5 days, I'll be back when they bird land, bitch. We gon' state the obvious, that Rolex, that ain't time right. I was clocked doing 130, let lil' baby shine pipe. In my own lane, nigga shouldn't be so pressed by my mic. I'm a man first, you disrespect, you get a gunfight. Ayy, I'm gon' simmer down and let that shit stay in the street. Ayy, everything ain't about you niggas, I been had simple beef. Get your homie for he end up on your Hermes teeth. Everything ain't sweet, I stick out like a 7-mix V. Ayy, yeah, I'm back outside and I'm gon' say it crime pays. I got too much shit in route to see my time fade. 50 bowls of depths, but I got 50 Zod plays. Micro mini Drake, I let that bitch hang sideways. Hey, everything ain't everything, but I say, why stop? Why? I won't crash, but if I get the drop, your house pop. 5 in the morning, I threw back a hot pocket. 100 grams of fentanyl, shout out to my socket. Mind on my own, I'm man to man to come shop. Shit ain't been the same, stay close, Mr. Bob Spot. I'm the type to say that crime pays, don't stop. You the type to lose your mind and get on Crime Stoppers. A crime stopper. I'm the type to come outside and get the crime poppin'. Hey, a crime stopper. Now I'm the type to come outside and get the crime poppin'. What's up?
Retail
Hey, they say you got to pray for San Fran, man.
Theft is rampant in San Francisco. We walked into a store and easily spotted and recorded shoplifters in action. Now some retailers are going to new lengths to protect their products. KTVU's Christian Captain joins us now from a Walgreens in the city's Richmond district that has taken the drastic step of using a chain to lock up the food there. Christian.
Yeah, pretty incredible, Julie. The workers and customers here at this Walgreens say that they are frustrated at the amount of rampant theft that goes on. And now the shop, as you said, has taken the somewhat unprecedented step of simply chaining off an area there. That is their latest attempt to try to thwart the thieves.
Customers at this Walgreens at 16th Avenue and Geary Boulevard say this is a distressingly common sight. Shoplifters making their way through the aisles, helping themselves to whatever they want, then walking out.
I have seen people actively grabbing stuff off the shelves and walking out the door.
Now this Walgreens has taken a drastic step, chaining up the refrigerated and frozen foods.
Hey, you remember last cast when we talked about Jonah L sending out that little note? And y'all remember how we felt about it? I don't know. Maybe we ain't feeling that way, but I ain't saying nothing. Like, when I walk into this door, this is the beat that I hear playing. When I walk into this store, I hear dun. Like, yo, bro, look, I need, man, take me off the screen. Take me off the screen. Put me in the top right or something like that. But take me off the screen. Check this out. But they got, we call these padlocks where I'm from, bro. Padlocks and pit bull chains on the freezer section. Padlocks and pit bull chains are now on the freezer section in San Fran. And they're telling me that I'm going to show up. Because I got time to be going to the front, to be asking for goddamn keys, to unlock padlocks, and goddamn get pit bull chains. I go to the bathroom sometimes, y'all. TMI. That's what the people say. The white people say. Somebody say that. White people say it. Lady says. Somebody say it. So I'm saying it right now. Long story short, bro. I don't even go to the bathroom. You know why? Because I got to go ask for the key. If I go to the bathroom and the door is open, I might go in the bathroom. If I go to the bathroom and I say, damn. All right, I'm going. Simple and plain. When Jonah Hill sent that text message, we said, he gone. If I was his therapist and I was sitting down with him and he told me, yo, I had sent this text message, I'm like, let me read it. Ooh. You told him that before? Oh, oh, yeah, the problem got so bad that, oh, that's the point that we were trying to make. When the problem gets so bad that you got to do something like this, that you got to let me know that, yo, I've been talking about you the whole time. You fucking keep on stealing from the store, bro. You shoplifting, bro. Cool. Just they got padlocks on the door, bro. Bam.
The only way to get any items inside, ringing for assistance. Customers say they're frustrated that it's come to this.
It is terrible because you have to wait. You have to ask for a clerk to come and unlock anything that you want to buy, anything, including a soda.
In the span of less than 2 hours, we saw 4 confirmed shoplifting incidents, thieves making off with drinks, food, and stationery supplies. In a statement, Walgreens said retail crime is one of the top challenges facing their industry, and that the company is focused on safety. The company says it continues to take preventative measures to safely deter theft and still deliver the best experience it can for customers. We spoke with a San Francisco police sergeant who works undercover, so he asked us to not show his face. He says ultimately it's up to the retailer to protect their goods and hire security if needed. He said oftentimes Walgreens will call the police and only ask that the items be returned and will then decline to press charges.
But then what happens is the Walgreens, the corporation, that means the employees will have to show up to court and testify. And I think that's where the particular problem is. It's tying up their employees to go to court on these, on these retail thefts.
Walgreens isn't the only retailer facing a shoplifting problem. This Safeway on Webster Street in San Francisco joined with others in Oakland and San Jose to install these glass gates where shoppers have to scan their receipts to exit. Safeway released a statement saying the grocery chain recently made the change at select Safeway stores in the Bay Area to maintain a safe and welcoming shopping experience for customers and associates, given the increasing amount of theft. Some shoppers said they didn't like the new gates. Others say they understand why they're a necessity.
It was different. I thought it was more like an airport kind of like, or, a security job, But if it does the job, it keeps shoplifters from shoplifting. Okay.
You see how you got to start accepting.
Another common security measure these stores have implemented is only
just listen to how my sister got to accept this shit, bro. My sister said, okay. Okay, it don't really make a lot of sense to me, goddamn. But if we gotta do this and it's gonna stop something, this is what we all say. It don't be making sense to none of us. A nigga be like, yo, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna there's a lot of car accidents right here. We've been noticing it. We're gonna start putting cameras up. You giving people speeding tickets. Nobody ain't gonna speed around here no more. You come back 6 years later, you say, yo, why the accidents look like they still going up though? What the speeding tickets do? Well, it's giving us funding. Okay. I know the padlock company and pit bull chain company. Matter of fact, I'm gonna probably start making padlocks and pit bull chains. I might even start making a new system so they can take the goddamn padlocks out of the pit bull chain to where you gotta come in there and maybe you gotta enter your phone number, or maybe you don't give your phone number, but you gotta enter something, my boy. You gotta put your keys in the box. Put your ID in the box. Put your you ain't going nowhere. Put your passport in the box. Put your passport.
And only ask that the items be returned and will to exit. Safeway released a statement saying the grocery chain recently made the change at select Safeway stores in the Bay Area to maintain a safe and welcoming shopping experience for customers and associates, given the increasing amount of theft. Some shoppers said they didn't like the new gates. Others say they understand why they're a necessity.
It was different. I thought it was more like an airport kind of like.
Stand of main statements. Gate Webster.
It's time to have to show up to court and testify.
Have returned and will then decline to press charges.
See, the dangers of me now using these buttons, I was just dropping the whole sermon. And because I was looking at my mic and my mic was still hot, I ain't even stopped. But I'm using the hotkeys and stuff down here and doing little mutes and unmutes on the little buttons and crazy stuff. And it's also affecting my John, so I'm going to have to change that too because I'm using numbers. I thought that was the flyest shit to do. Use numbers as hotkeys right now. But the numbers are also affecting my goddamn position in my video. But shout out to everybody that's tuned in. We got probably two more stories to cover. But like I said, I like this aspect from stores because, like I said, you understand that sometimes it's not that serious. You don't want a motherfucker to go to jail or whatever it is, but you do want them to get out of your store. You do want to be protected, but now the law is saying, whoa. So now they seem like they don't want to do their job no more either. So we got to kind of find a balance, a healthy balance here.
If it does the job to keep shoplifters
like to merge at select Oak
Accord on these, on these retail thefts.
Walgreens isn't the only retailer facing a shoplifting problem. This Safeway on Webster Street in San Francisco isn't the only retailer
to go to court on these, on these retail thefts.
Walgreens isn't the only retailer.
See, this person right here, and I wouldn't even want to say it like this because maybe they're whatever the situation is, but back in the days, we used to see these people, you say, okay, that person is crazy. They're going through a mental break. This is a man right here running out of the store, but he has on a dress. Right? He's stealing, and you don't really like, this is what I'm saying. You can kind of see what people are like, yo, that person is on some drugs or something, bro. You need to get help. I don't want to send them to jail. That's not going to help them. So I understand the store's battle, but I also understand the county or whoever, because there's resources you got to use. So it's at some point where it's like, well, should we have to come? It's like, man, come on, bro. You know you got to come, bro. You have to come. You have to keep that law. You have to keep law and order. Right? And I guess people should be punished. I guess there should be a level of, yo, you can't just come and cry out of punishment. Punishment is something that you got to sleep out of. You made bed, lay bed. Make bed, lay bed. God damn it.
Facing a shoplifting problem. This Safeway on Webster Street in San Francisco joined with others in Oakland and San Jose to install these glass gates where shoppers have to scan their receipts to exit. Safeway released a statement saying the grocery chain recently made the change at select Safeway stores.
You already see that? Little hiccups right there. Say I got my bags in my hand. I got 2 bags. I got a newborn baby. If I ain't got my goddamn, my carrier, my baby carrier, what are they suggesting for me to do? Are they saying, yo, too bad for you, brother? What are they actually saying that I should do? As somebody that's like, yo, hey, somebody grab the receipts real quick. Just T-Rexing it around. Bro, then she's had trouble. She had a one whole hand. But because she didn't have 2, maybe, if she had 2, she'd be able to, because receipts fold up, they've been like, I don't know, bro. Y'all got to start making probably gift card receipts or something. Something that I could just, bing. It got to be something more tangible and stiff.
Stores in the Bay Area to maintain a safe and welcoming shopping experience for customers and associates, given the increasing amount of theft. Some shoppers said they didn't like the new gates. Others say they understand why they're a necessity.
It was different. I thought it was more like an airport kind of like, or, you know, a security job, you know. But if it does the job to keep shoplifters from shoplifting, okay.
Another common security measure these stores have implemented is only having one way in and out to monitor who comes and goes. That means customers have to either backtrack to the entrance where they first entered, or, as in the case of this Walgreens, use the stairs. We're live in San Francisco. Christian Cafton, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
So, Christian, yeah, I'm curious. You were there with your photographer. How long were you there before you two actually spotted people shoplifting and obviously not being bothered by the fact that they were being recorded?
Yeah, literally as we pulled up. And I mean that literally as we pulled up, we saw somebody walking in who was kind of giving furtive looks around. He walked in. My photographer was able to kind of follow him in, monitor what he was doing, and sure enough, he took items off the shelf, put it in his pocket, and simply walked right out. So literally the moment that we arrived, and then we were here for maybe 2 hours. In that 2-hour span, no fewer than 4 times did we see people shoplifting.
Shout out to my black brother. You gotta talk, that black brother different. That just look how confused he is at the Edomite. Look at him.
From this store.
Just look at him looking at the Edomite. Edomite right here with the blue helmet on. He's about to take his bike down the motherfucking ramp, bro. I mean, down this ramp, people. So I gotta be very careful, because I know I'll be on some wild young ones that be wanting to tune in. So my bad for y'all. But this young Edomite brother's about to take his motorcycle down this step. Look at the mountain later, brother. He vibed.
Sure enough, he took items off the shelf.
You see him.
Put it in his pocket and simply walked right out. So literally the moment that we arrived, and then we were
doing
here for maybe 2 hours. In that 2-hour span, no fewer than 4 times.
Yo, you gotta talk to that black brother.
I'm different, my flavor is exotic. Yeah. Baby, I'm different, my flavor is exotic. I really hit it, won't say nothing bad. It won't speak till I get it, you know when I get it. Stick in the whip, I got more in the closet. Pockets on thick just like Buffett the body. Gave her the dick, now she calling me toxic. Ain't part of your clique, I don't run with no posse. Rockin' with people that rock, I don't rockin'. You gotta talk to me different. 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 Ayy, the hating you doing is sad, just stop it. Came up and got me a bag, I'm poppin'. Bitch, I'm a grind till I'm tired, exhausted. Feelings I had to dad, I'm cautious. You gotta talk to me different. 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 Ayy, bae riding with me, she bad and bossy. Watch on my wrist and it's cold and frosty. I was down bad, now I'm up, no coffee. Ain't about no profit, I'm straight, you lost. Only way that we kick it is I kick you out of my business. Envy is sickness, don't know who sick with it. So I'ma just keep my little disty. This world is wicked, I keep a little pistol. She a go digger, I seen that shit in her. Ain't taking her out, baby, you was the dinner. Show me that monkey like you in the middle. Nothing you tell me is new to a nigga. I done been down bad, but I found peace. Searching for something, I found me. Keep that fake shit from around me. Internet only tell half of the story. Go to sleep pissed, I'ma laugh in the morning. If it ain't for me, can't even enjoy it. I stay on the mission like Ricky and Morty. I got a few kids, what you got on my 40? Living in grind mode. I'm not of your time, I'm out of your time zone. Paint that picture myself like Picasso. Boy, my vision is clear through a blindfold. I know that I'm different, I know that I'm gifted. So talk to me nice when you talk to a nigga. Think I'm Tarzan, how I walk with gorillas. I bet on myself, I ain't bargaining with you. You gotta talk to me different. Ay, 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 that hating you doing is sad, just stop it. Came up and got me a bag, I'm popping. Bitch, I'm a grind till I'm tired, exhausted. Feelings I had to dad or carcass. You gotta talk to me different. You gotta talk to me different. Talk to me. You gotta talk to me different. You gotta talk to me different. Ayy, bae riding with me, she bad and bossy. Watch on my wrist and it's cold, I'm frosty. I was down bad, now I'm up, no coffee. Ain't about no profit, I'm straight, you lost.
I'm one of the ones, a man of respect. Ran on my bench, yeah, I'm playing with a check. The gang still in debt and I'm playing to collect. Cannon on deck, give a damn about the threat. Look, talk to me nice or don't talk to me. Turn down that time that they offer me. Shout out my lawyer, she fought for me. Please tell your brother quit stalking me, calling me back to bed like she don't know I'm a busy man. Got that shit out the mud, got no big advance. I just made a big plate and I did my dance, pick it up, drop it out, take my cut off the top. I was down on my last, came up with a plan. Risk it all and I gladly do that again. Count to 10 and I'm about to do that again. If you cross me, I'm never gonna make amends. See, that's part of my problem, I can't pretend. Make a profit before I go make a friend. Call whoever in charge and I'm pulling in. And they talk to me different cause what I spend. See, business I handle it hands on. Usually I will be distant, but if we're not talking about money,
bro, y'all gotta. I don't like when people just be watching the show and just bobbing your head and T that bit hard, bro. Run that bit back, bro. No, don't run that bit back. Did you hear what he said? I'm gonna run it back, but I'm not gonna run it all back right now. Cause I wouldn't do that to you, because I have other things to get into. Shout out to everybody that's tuning into the show. I always appreciate the view.
on deck, give a damn about the threat. Look, talk to me nice or don't talk to me. I'm one of the ones, a man of respect. Ran on my bench, yeah, I'm playing with a chick.
Okay, so he started off, he said he's one of them ones, a man of respect, ran up them bands, he got him a check.
The gang still in debt and I'm playing to collect. Cannon on deck, give a damn about the threat.
Game still in debt and he planned to collect. Give a damn about a threat.
Look, talk to me nice or don't talk to me.
Talk to me nice or don't talk to me. That goes with the whole theme of the song. Where he said, you got the theme of the song, you gotta talk to me different. Loso jumped on that beat, he said that he rocking with people, how we had 2 minutes 35. I gotta go back a little.
You gotta talk to me different. Ay. You gotta talk to me different. Ay. You gotta talk to me different. Ay. That hating you doing is sad, just stop it. Came up and got me a bag, I'm popping. Bitch, I'm a grind till I'm tired, exhausted. Feelings I had to dad or carcass. You gotta talk to me different. You gotta talk to me different. Talk to me. You gotta talk to me different. You gotta talk to me different. Ayy, bae riding with me, she bad and bossy. Watch on my wrist and it's cold and frosty. I was down bad, now I'm up, no coffee. Ain't about no profit, I'm straight, you lost. Only way that we kick it is I kick you out of my business. Envy is sickness, don't know who sick with it. So I'ma just keep my little disty. This world is wicked, I keep a little pistol. She a go digger, I seen that shit in her. Ain't taking her out, baby, you was the dinner. Show me that monkey like you in the middle. Nothing you tell me is new to a nigga. I done been down bad, but I found peace. Searching for something.
Searching for something, I found me. That boy went crazy. Shout out Lil
My
City Girl.
family, keep that fake shit from around me. Internet only tell half of the story. Go to sleep pissed, I'ma laugh in the morning. If it ain't for me, can't even enjoy it. I stay on the mission like Ricky and Morty. I got a few kids, what you got on my 40? Living in grind mode. I'm not of your time, I'm out of your time zone. Paint that picture myself like Picasso. Boy, my vision is clear through a blindfold. I know that I'm different, I know that I'm gifted. So talk to me nice when you talk to a nigga. Think I'm Tarzan, how I walk with gorillas. I bet on myself, I ain't bargaining with you. You gotta talk to me different. Ay, you gotta talk to me different. Ay, you gotta talk to me different. Ay, you gotta talk to me different.
I ain't even
hating you doing this. Say
I ain't even gonna flex. I ain't even get to go back to the park. I ain't even get to go back to the park. Cause it's probably earlier than that, goddamn. Shout out to brother Loso either way. All them parts was still the same parts, and I was still trying to get the parts across.
yeah, just stop it. Came up and got me a bag, I'm popping. Bitch, I'm a grind till I'm tired, exhausted. Feelings I had to dad or carcass. You gotta talk to me different. You gotta talk to me different. Talk to me. You gotta talk to me different. You gotta talk to me different. Hey, babe riding with me, she bad and bossy. Watch on my wrist and it's cold, I'm frosted. I was there, I'm up, no cold. Ain't about no problem, I'm straight, you lost.
I'm one of the ones, a man of respect. Ran on my bench, yeah, I'm playing with a chick. The gang still in debt and I plan to collect. Cannon on deck, give a damn by the thread. Look, talk to me nicer, don't talk to me. Turn down that time that they offer me. Shout out my lawyer, she fought for me. Please tell your brother quit stalking me, calling me back to bed like she don't know I'm a busy man. Got this shit out the mud, got no big advance. I just made a big plate and I did my dance. Pick it up, drop it out, take my cut off the top. I was down on my legs, came up with a plan. Risk it all and I gladly do that again. Count to 10 and I'm about to do that again. If you cross me, I'm never gonna make amends. See, that's part of my problem, I can't pretend. Make a profit before I go make a friend. Call whoever in charge and I'm pulling in. And they talk to me different cause what I spend. See, business I handle it hands on. Usually I will be distant. But if we not talking about money, then truthfully I'm not even listening. What you say?
You gotta talk to me different. Ay, 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 the hating you doing this, say it, just stop it. Came up and got me a bag, I'm popping. Bitch, I'm a grind till I'm tired, exhausted. Feelings I had to dad or carcass. You gotta talk to me different. You gotta talk to me different. Talk to me. You gotta talk to me different. You gotta.
Hey, all Loso and Lee don't know is, yo, when them boys show up, hey, say you was speaking like English. When I show up, you gotta start speaking probably like Spanish. Or like if you used to only speak to me in Spanish, you gotta only speak to me in like English. You gotta talk to me different, cause I'm a different guy. Nah, but this song right here goes extremely goddamn hard. This is just bruh topic, but this topic ain't got enough fucking views for me either, nigga. So that shit ain't fair either. But shout this brother out. Loso the Great. This is a well put together song. The beat go hard. The vibe that bruh jumped into that bit with go stupid. Right, and just everything just flowed into each other. And the song is pretty old, right? It's extremely old. It's a year ago, they say. But so shout out them boys, man. I know they had this one in the chamber and shit. But man, just work, just constant work from the brother Lito, constant work from the brother Don Tripp. You see, you just had Forever Paid Rolling on the other night. That brother be grinding. Slick the ruler, that motherfucker be grinding, and he can't even get in contact with him. I ain't been in contact with my boy Space Boy Marley in a little minute. He grinding. I would only imagine Space Boy always stay down there. But so you feel me? It's a lot of grinders around. You know, I've been running a lot of it. The DJ Desire, running a lot of that. A lot of that shit. Throw a lot of that in your eardrums. Always throw some Nado and some JY in your eardrums, right? Throw some, you know, I'm gonna throw some vocal. I gotta have some type of smooth music. You know, I love some smooth music. I gotta balance it out for the ladies, for everybody in the building and stuff. But like I say, man, I always want to thank everybody for any type of support. If it's just a small support, small share, small like, small comment, it's all small. But the more small things that we do as one, the bigger it is. I don't even sound like I'm speaking Confucianism. They might fucking kick me out of the state. I might be out of the state talking on the humanism nonsense, bro. Trying to be a better human and understanding that, yo, the power is great. But we all great. You know why? Because the power put us here to be great. The power using us as representation for the power source. If you ain't representing the power source, what you representing? I don't really know what's wrong with they vibe, bro. A lot of they Johns seem pretty normal to me. But that's what I'm saying. You see it. That's how I be telling people too. When you like even got like one of those bias that's so deep, it might be in your subconscious, your unconscious. You don't even know that you got it in your mind, but every time that you view something, you say, man, that's normal to me. It made people like, what, bro? Did you hear what they said? They said that women need to have right speech. What does that even mean, right speech? Nobody got to. I don't really know, bro. You see, everybody can get mad. Let me go back and tell you a few shit they said. Let me tell you a few things, bro. Because I say everybody can get mad. Harmony between younger in-laws, bro. That's bad to y'all? Okay. Implicit obedience. Within this was a section that is dedicated to the obedience towards the mother and father-in-law. What you saying? I don't get it. Wholehearted devotion. Let me read it though, because I like that biased remarks being made against me. So let me read it for y'all. But I gotta read the book too. Matter of fact, give me 1 second, y'all. Until I can find the book. You gotta talk to Brett different. You gotta talk to Brett different. Cause Brett trying to find the book. Bro might be tripping, but Brett trying to find the book. 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 Move me over here. I ain't no rookie. Put me in the middle like I eat cookies. You make your own movies, but I make movies. You make home movies, but I make movies. You see, your movies got to put home before it because you know it ain't real. I'm talking about a bunch of movie bars, and I said real. Matter of fact, what I was gonna do, I'm not gonna do. Why am I not gonna do it? Because I feel like it's funner to do this. Hey, they said that too. Say that they shouldn't have no fun. I love a lot of this stuff. I don't say no fun, but come on, why would you say some words? Nobody don't think nobody should have no fun, bro. They just saying they don't think they should see women frivolously laughing though. My bad, y'all. My bad, everybody. See this thing, everybody in the building, everybody looking at me like, yeah, that brother's a screw up. Everybody probably thinking that I'm a screw up. They don't even know what happened. I'm a nigga and I grew up before I blew up. Grown ass man and I finally got my start. Cold heart put me on Noah's Ark. Call me a little puppy, all I do is bark. But I might get eaten by a shark for bringing attention to myself. I identify as a them. I am one of them. Matter of fact, just call me him. That mean that I'm a man. God damn, that ain't cool. You can't be yourself no more. Just stay in school. They want everybody to be different. I'm just tripping, but I'm trying to be myself. I ain't trying to be no pigeon. But they told me that ain't cool no more. It ain't cool to go to school no more. Matter of fact, they love you in the school system because they just gonna get you in there and break your back. Trying to get you to submit to some crack. What I mean when I say that, I mean whatever they trying to get you to submit to is whack. And you gotta be very careful of that. But I ain't never thought I was better than y'all. I just wanna put y'all boys on. The way they moving around here, everybody scared. Everybody weird. Everybody dying here. Everybody said they cool, but nobody went to school. Everybody played the fool. They thought that shit was cool. You do you is what I used to say. I used to say, okay, do, and let them do them, and I just do me. Not an asexual, bruh. Cause I said do me. I ain't want nobody being confused with me. I ain't against the community, but if you do that, then you gotta be doing them. Cause the whole thing was about pronouns. From when? Do you have context, my brother? All I'm saying is, do you have context, my brother? Do you see the logos in the back? Do you see the nigga with the lax? Nah, this shit the locks. No, the salmon locks. That's what I'm saying. Y'all tripping. But no. Everybody trying to distract me right now. I'm just trying to find a book. I'm just trying to find a book. Everybody wanna distract me. But the way I run, you know I got distract knees, lessons. What's the name of the book, man? My bad, folks. I need to find the name of the book. Lessons, what is the name of the book, bro? Lessons of a Woman. Lessons for Women. Lessons for Women. Translated as what? 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 No, let me see though. My bad, y'all. I really don't know what they talking about, so let me check it out. Lessons. Lessons. No, I gotta put S. Lessons for women. I gotta see. Oh my goodness. Bro, they are really trying to shoot a kid. Lessons in Leadership for Women, Changing the World. This seems like a positive book. Come on, bro. No, that's not the book itself. I'm just saying this seems like a positive book already. See, this last one right here though sounds fucking eerie. I want to tell you, I wouldn't figure out who translated it like this. Warnings for women. Let's see if I can find that one. That one ain't found nowhere either. What about woman's precepts? Precepts upon precepts. See, I like this one. See, whoever did this one is a respectful person that know how to read books. Whoever translated the last one is a nigga that translated the fucking wrong Bible. My bad for cursing, bro. Some people be mistranslating stuff, bro. And it's like, bro, how you translate stuff so bad, bro? Did you even look at the words, bro? I'm translating it. And then they start saying, no, that's not the same words, though. Okay. I didn't get Rosetta Stone. They try to tell me I can't read other languages. Who found the Rosetta Stone? When I find them, I just want to let them know I owe them. Who found the Rosetta Stone? When I find, bro, I want to let them know that I owe them. It ain't all good, but it's better than it was just a week ago. Just a week ago, I was in Memphis issuing call outs to everybody that was in the house, telling them, bro, let's get out. We need to get back in shape. We need to start back hooping. I remember how good we was at hooping. Niggas out here shooting, but not the ball. We shooting at everybody except for the right person, which is nobody. Don't shoot nobody with a body. You gotta start picking up Confucianism. You gotta start thinking about your humanism. Start getting back to humanitarian work, but not acting like a jerk trying to tell people about the earth. Telling people that the earth finna end when? You don't know, my friend, so be quiet. Stay on a diet and try it. And see if you like it. If you don't, then you could do something else. But don't be looking at me and be like, look at bro, he on the shelf. I could be whatever I want to be. You just mad because you got to be a wannabe. Nobody really like you as yourself. You can't even get nobody help. That's why you screaming at random people, trying to get people to be your equal. Me, I don't have conversations with people. They don't trying to be having conversations with me. I just be trying to be in my own lobby. It's like a free play, but it's only me and a couple unique people down to earth. They ain't trying to act no. You can feel it in the air. You could even feel it when I say I'm there. Cause when I show up, I got my music playing loud, shaking the ground, shaking the crowd. Yeah, but I'm also be trying to find something right now, folks. I'll turn this into a whole rap beat. Turned their thing into rapping. I turned rapping right back into trapping. They was mad cause they ain't know that I had napkins. They ain't know I had napkins. They thought that I was cool. But nobody knew I was in school. I seen a cool story the other day. They said Ubisoft has confirmed that it is temporarily suspending accounts it deemed to be inactive. You gotta watch some type of people that be making stuff up. You gotta watch those guys. It's another story, but I wanna save it. I want to save it for David. I always be needing a little light stories in between the night. It came out on the 23rd at 4:35. Basically the 24th. Then I'm fine. I ain't really tripping. I could do something tomorrow like Scottie Pippen. I ain't gotta rush it. I ain't gotta rush it. I ain't in public, so I ain't gonna rush it. Yeah, bro, I know Francisco. That boy Francisco thought he was cool. That boy Francisco thought he was cool. That boy Francisco thought it was cool. That boy Francisco thought it was cool. Got 3 pictures on the screen. What the fuck is going on, nigga? I need to get back in school, but now he off. He off. Like a light. Him too. Good night. Y'all two brothers. Y'all tripping. How y'all got on my screen? I don't even know. I guess they trying to blow. They trying to make up their own show. Trying to do their own thing for their folks. I don't really like it though. They acting dykish, bro. And not like in a bad way. I'm just saying they're trying to act like they're the same play. No. I would never have my cameras together like that. If you see my cameras like that, say, yo, yeah, you tripping. Why you got triplets? Do you got triplets? And I'll be like, no. Them all the same folks. Them guys broke. But this guy right here, yeah, because he wasn't supposed to be here. But now I'm about to jump into this little video. This is the last one we're covering for the night. Thank everybody for tuning in. There's a lot of people that tuned in. So definitely make sure you keep on getting the knowledge, keep on getting that wisdom, and all you're getting, get what? Shout out to y'all, because a lot of people, they don't get nothing. Some people, they be getting cousins. Nah, for real, it's a big John going on right now. I don't know what it's about, but a dude was doing something and he said, "That's my cousin." It's crazy stuff right now, but serious topic on the way.
I think it was 8.6% excess deaths, which are still there. Now, I know you're planning on some research on this to actually get this properly done in research and hard numbers on data. But what got you interested in this to begin with, Vibeke?
Well, first of all, I must say we haven't had excess mortality in 2020. I mean, in 2020, we didn't have excess mortality. And yes, we had some death, with corona and without corona, but we didn't actually have excess mortality. And the funny thing is, we, a group of, scientists and doctors and statisticians, have been following the data from literally, day one, from where we had corona, the 28th of February 2020, and been looking into the data and whether we would have, this is solely on Danish data. I'm not that strong on UK data. I have some data now with excess mortality, but from the beginning I didn't follow those data that much. So we didn't have excess mortality in 2020. But something happened, and it's very strange, and I still don't have an explanation. May 21. Then the excess mortality started,
right.
and that's literally also in Finland, in Norway. It's like it's on a date. And the thing is, when we had the lockdown, because I don't know what the causes. I think there's a lot of causes. There's not just one cause. I think there's many causes for that excess mortality. But what happened when we had the lockdown? The first thing I said to anyone who dared to listen was that this will cost lives, because the minute you closes down a health system, the minute you closes down the hospitals, where the practitioners, the minute you closes down, then you will have delay diagnosis, delay treatment, delay rehabilitation, and so on. So at that point I expected, that was just me making a guess, that in 1.5 years we would have excess mortality, but we literally had it before. It started out in May 21 in Denmark and several other places, and it just continued, and that is very strange, and it's very depressing. So
those are the reasons that she's explaining to you right now. All right, look where the spike comes in. And look how crazy the spike end up going. These are excess deaths. This chart, this is what this is showing. And we don't exactly know, right? None of us could say, oh, no, whatever. But right now, looking at the data, because a lot of us are looking at the data. She's following the data in a lot of the Danish, Scandinavian type countries and stuff. That whole area, whether it be Finland, Sweden, whatever. My bad for saying Sweden. I'm using Swedish versus tripping. Put me back on the screen, bro. Tripping. I want to be over here though, for sure. This is the data right here that we're talking about. Right here, you see, right here, right under me, where we're looking at where the vaccine started. And let me actually pull this video. Where is that? This is the window capture. Okay, boom. Window capture. Let me move window capture. Oh, who was that being moved? Move back. My bad, family. That's why I usually log everything. Log everything. So I gotta be worried about that craziness. It's locked. I'm gonna see unlock is you. Okay, boom. Perfect. You see that? That's the Danish data you looking at. The Denmark data, but yeah.
So we have been looking in and
like
following
I said,
these
we
numbers.
have been following the. We have personally, a lot of us. If you've been watching the cast, we've been showing a lot of. We've been following this from the beginning, as far as with the American data, especially, like I said, especially America, but the whole USA. So we've been paying attention to what's been going on in Haiti, paying attention to what's been going on in Jamaica, paying attention to the response, the early response, where some people was like, nah, we'll wait later. And then some people was like, no, we taking it, we looking at all of the different data point that we also have too. So this is from that area plus the USA area, and then you also got the brother over here in UK. So the data is getting around, and a lot of us is looking at the data, and this is what it's saying kind of across the board. Some people it's a little earlier, some people it's a little later, but it's a spike. It's a spike, and I don't know. I don't think it's the vaccine or anything like that, and that's what I don't. Even I don't think they're saying that. I think that's what they're trying to get to, because she was saying even that I think people were getting the situation a little bit earlier on, so it wasn't anything about that per se. So I'm not exactly sure. These are some doctors speaking, so I'm just running what they're saying and just listening.
Numbers, and you have a graph of that, which I think is very interesting, because there you can see that it's the same pattern. And as a doctor, and as we said before, talking about prevention and how can you prevent morbidity and mortality, how can you, have people to live a long and healthy and, fulfill their lives, then that has been, for me, as a doctor, really, really depressing to watch this, from the side and kind of looked into these data, and you just saw it, continue. And what you looking into at the graphs, that is numbers about taken from mortalities, and you see the numbers in Denmark, Finland, Norway, and in the bottom you also see UK. And I can tell from that as you said, you had some excess mortality also in 2020, which if you go further up and look at our and look at the Denmark, you can see in 2020 it was fine, nothing to talk about, literally nothing really. And then there was a little starting in the start of 21, and then it fell, and and we were looking into the data and kind of, oh well, that's fine. And then bang, in May 21 it just raised, and just recently it has stopped. So this is a accumulated data. So this is like, if we go and look at the Danish data, at least 60,000 people has died more than, you can always say that everyone who dies shouldn't die, but excess mortality more than expected, 60,000. That's for a population about 5.6 million, citizens. But the interesting part is that this is not only a Danish phenomenon, it's also in Finland we saw it, in Norway we saw it. You can see it's almost like you just copied the graph.
I hadn't noticed that before. That Finland there, the deaths didn't start till well into 2021.
Exactly, May 21.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally, it's like we've been sitting, different places and watching the same thing happening, and you see the same happens in Norway also, and then it just continues up with the excess mortality. And that's like, if I saw that as an epidemiologist, I would expect, well, did you copy something? Did you take the date? Well, what's happening? But it just shows how bad the corona handling was. For me, this is man-made. For me, this is a sign of a humanity crisis really put on the public by the governments and the authorities, because this has nothing to do with COVID, coronavirus as such. This has something to do with the handling of what happened. And if you saw the UK data, I think it was around 150,000 excess, in UK, and it's a horrific number, because, as I keep saying, these are names. These are someone are still crying, still missing, heartbroken, and so on. So this is like people having a name, and I think what really maybe the worst part of it is that we haven't really been allowed to discuss this excess mortality. It's like every time you want to discuss it publicly, mainstream media, it's just kept down. No, don't mention it. It's like, let's just put it under the carpet. Let's pretend it's not there, but it is there, and it's for real. And you can look into the data that it's not only a Danish problem, it's not only a problem in Finland. We just had a very excellent study from Germany showing that they also had and still has, excess mortality. You have and still has more than we have in Denmark, excess mortality. So it's a huge, humanity crisis, really, and it's quite frightening. For me as a doctor, I think it's very frightening.
I really hadn't noticed this trend before. So in the UK, the excess mortality started in 2020. In Denmark, Finland and Norway, it didn't start till basically halfway through 2021. Have you got any sort of provisional explanations to explain that difference?
Well, something must have to do, of course, with demography, to have to do of way of living, have to do of way how the health system works, rich and poor and all that, I mean, something must have. But when you look into the data from Norway, Finland, and Denmark, we're quite similar to Scandinavian countries, also demography and middle, how long you live and all that. So I think that's more comparable, really. And for that reason, the Scandinavian data shows something which is varying, because in UK, I also been following the discussion in UK, there could be a lot of explanations, and was it this and that, and did we have a cut down on this, or what happened. But when you looked into the Scandinavian, this is not random. I mean, this is not like something something just happened. This is non-random. This has something to do with whatever happened. And as I reckon, it's multifactorial. I mean, it's not just one thing going on. And I'm quite sure, and we know that from studies already, that if you have a delayed treatment, if you have a non-treatment, like we saw with heart attack, you get, a bigger damage or injury of the heart. And that in the end, proceed to heart failure, and in the end, early death. So we have several good explanations also about the excess heart mortalities, which you have in UK. We may have that also. We just don't have the data yet publicly, which you have, and it shows that that is the price of the lockdowns. That's for sure. I mean, when you locked down the health system, when you took away the ambulances, when people didn't go and have the treatment for their heart attacks, they sat at home and thought they were not allowed to come. They were afraid for corona, whatever it was. And if they went, they were not allowed to have their, their relatives. And we know that, relatives is quite important when you go through serious illness. Someone to, give you love, someone to take care of you, someone to comfort you, someone to make sure that you get your treatment and so on. And they were denied access. So I think it's many, many reasons for that. And that's why I call it human, man-made, really, this excess mortality. And that's why I think it's so important to discuss and learn and hold it, of course, because that's the next problem. What on earth can we do to stop that, that development, which it seems like we have been, it's stopping now you could see that from the graph also in Denmark, Norway and Finland. But then what are the learning out of it? What happened? How can we make sure that it's not going to happen again? And so I also think that some of it may be due to loneliness, social isolation, psychiatric diseases, suicide. And then in the end, we also have the discussion whether some of the excess mortality could be explained, and I'm not saying it is, but maybe could be explained by the vaccinations. We still don't know. So some of it we know for sure that it was the price of lockdowns and closing down the health system. And the ones who may be still in doubt of that.
Exactly. I want to be very careful about that also. For sure, we're not, there's no part of this where we're standing on the aspect of trying to say it's the situation, the vaccination or whatever, because vaccination helped so much people. It's a great idea. But, matter of fact, let me put myself back on the screen so people can see me. Clone that boy. It's a great idea, great plan. You should, but we're saying it was the handling of the situation. So people not getting outside, not getting the vitamin D. People not getting outside, not being able to interact with people to be able to share those different germs and blah 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 blah. What they'll call it, immunization. Right? To immune yourself from things, right? We didn't do none of these practices. So it's the handling of it. People that even got sad committed things. People that locked up went stir crazy. Just, you feel me? There's a lot of different factors, and that's what we're saying. So it's not that one factor, but that factor also has to be put on the table just so we can be fair to even the people looking in, because we know how great it is, but just for everybody else, you just want to make sure that it's on there. It's on the book. We like, we ran everything down, and still, just like we said, we all knew we was never on that foolishness, but the people that don't know, here it goes. So I appreciate it.
I keep saying, well, if you think we don't need the health system as it works, when it works, why on earth have the health system then? If you think that you could have the same results by locking down a health system, closing doors, only taking the acute patients and so on, why on earth build up a big health system? So it's
Yeah, one thing I'm tell you about common sense, bro. Any argument you putting forward, anything you saying, bro, common sense will take it and knock it over. Common sense will take it and knock it over. Why am I saying that? Bro. She's saying simple and plain. You gonna build up this big healthcare system, right? Big healthcare system you build up, OG. And when a crisis comes, that you the whole reason why we building up the big system is because you say when crisis come, you knocking you out the park with everything. That's what we thought. Crisis came, you closed down everything and said, "Yo, save yourself."
It's bollocks really to say or pretend or don't think that it didn't matter. And I could see that the British Heart Association also had these explanations, so that's fine. But the thing about the vaccinations, that's still unclear. And it's a funny thing because if you go back to the graphs, John, you will actually see that we put in the where the vaccination started. You see
This line.
this line, and that's just to it's we have been doing that along the way when we made the graphs during also the corona crisis. It's always, I wouldn't say fun, it's an improper word, but it's always interesting to see when something happens, when something changes, whatever it is. And that's why we have put that into the graph, because someone will argue that the excess mortality also are associated with the vaccinations. I'm not saying it is, because we don't have any data yet, at least we don't have in Denmark, who shows that it is or isn't. So it's only speculative. But of course, that's also obvious to take into account, especially in the view of our own study, where we could see that some batches seems to give more, reported side effects than other batches, which may prove that could be a safety issue with some batches. And if there has been a safety issue, let's say you have some batches, as our study showed, which gave more reported, side effects, well, of course, then you could expect that there could be, also a higher all-cause mortality. And that we're trying to look into. But I still think, and I'm getting back to that, but I still think it's interesting to see how close to that where the vaccination started and continued. We have to remember that continued with one, two, third, one second and third vaccination. So this excess mortality actually followed also the start of the vaccination and the continuing vaccination. And then again, I'm not saying, and that's very important for me to underline, that I'm not saying that it are the vaccinations. I'm just saying that it would be wrong not to take that into account also. And that's why I keep saying it's not just one explanation.
I'm just telling you, bro. We just taking in some of the Scandinavian country data. You feel me? That's all we doing right now. That's all we can do. That's all we're gonna do is take a little Scandinavian data and get mad, scream at me, say you don't like me, but you gotta take the Scandinavian data. You feel me? It's gonna get mad, scream at me, tell me you don't like me.
Why is it that, I mean, imagine 10,000 people have been killed in a terrorist attack. This would be like massive news around the world. Why isn't this being reported in Australia?
Well, I mean, that's the $64 million question, John, and I can only speculate as to the answer why, but I suspect it doesn't suit the government or the media or the health authorities in the private sector, big pharma and things like that, to actually investigate further, because I can't see that there's any other reason other than the rollout of the COVID vaccines. Now, I'm not saying it's responsible for every excess death. I do think that the lockdowns may have had some response to it. In 2021, there were about 1,300 deaths from COVID. In 2020, there were about 980. So COVID deaths did increase by about 300, but yet again, a long way short of the extra 10,000 in excess deaths. And what's also very interesting about these numbers is that the largest increase in the death rate was in Western Australia and Queensland, the two states where there were no lockdowns and there was no COVID, or very few cases of COVID. And if they were there, they were in people in quarantine. So yet again,
right? So now this is where we really run up on a roadblock with this situation. This is where the roadblock starts. I'm talking about I might need 3 of me to explain this situation. Because the roadblock has started right now, folks. Let me get out of here. I'll be back. I'm in class. Do you understand the point that I'm trying to make here? This man saying in Western Australia, what happened was no lockdowns, not a high number of COVID cases, and if they were, there wasn't. We did the right thing. We did the protocol. They were in quarantine. I just played the other lady. She explained to us, because me and her are saying the same thing. Me and him are saying the same thing. We're not exactly sure, but we need all the data points on the table, because we can all just speculate, and like she said, like I'm gonna say, like Dr. John will probably tell you, like anybody will probably tell you, it don't look good. And they usually say where there's fire, there's smoke. And there's a lot of fire. Yeah, I switched to that George Bush y'all at. Perfect.
And the data would indicate that it was a result of the vaccine rollout rather than COVID itself.
I think all of Australia, but as you say, Queensland and Western Australia are a particularly useful model because, as you say, there was no COVID in that time period. So the cause of deaths must be something other than COVID infection per se.
That's exactly right. And we've got 2 strong indicators there. One is obviously the temporal association between the rollout and the jump in excess deaths and the geographic location of the excess deaths. And I should add a third one as well, was the large increase, and this is something you touched on in a recent video, in adverse events. And not just adverse events, but the rate of adverse events. So as you properly touched on in one of your recent programs last week, was that the death rate, the injury rate, from the vaccine rollout in Western Australia was 264 injuries per 100,000 doses versus a normal rollout, I think, of 11.1. So a jump of 24 or 2,400%, which was huge. And one thing you didn't touch on, and I will touch on this now, is in page 11 in that vaccine injury report. 47% of those people who reported a vaccine injury actually went to emergency, and 48%, I think it was, and another 9% were actually admitted to hospital overnight. So all up, 57% of people went to hospital as a result of their vaccine injury. Now, I'm pretty sure I can speak for a lot of Australians. We generally won't go to hospital for something that we consider mild, and we'll only go to hospital if we feel like it's an emergency.
Yep. So the report this is the report here that we're talking about. It's the official report from the Western Australian authorities, and it is a very detailed report. Now, of the adverse events reported following immunisation that took place in Western Australia, what percentage of those overall adverse events that occurred would you imagine actually got through into the report? Are people good at reporting in Australia? Because in the UK, it's actually quite a low percentage.
Well, yet again, that's something that we don't know of. I suspect it's a very low percentage, but I can't be sure. I can only speculate. Now, I have a friend who's a cardiologist here in Queensland. He submitted 3 myocarditis reports to Queensland Health, and they sent them back to him saying the patients must go back to their GP and get the GP to lodge the myocarditis reports on behalf of the patient, not the cardiologist. So that would indicate that the Queensland Health Department, at the very least, were doing their best to downplay or not report vaccine injuries. And I've had a number of anecdotal stories whereby people who had a vaccine injury, when they, when they either went to the hospital or saw their GP, that they were told verbally that their injury was caused by the vaccine, yet they would not write it down, nor the doctor at the GP clinic, nor the nurse or whoever it was at the registration desk would write down it's a vaccine injury. And in many cases, they wouldn't necessarily hand out the injury report from the hospital. The hospital wouldn't hand that over to the particular patient. So it would be underreported at the very least.
So the culture in healthcare in Australia really was not to report vaccine injuries.
I don't know if y'all think this is okay, bro, what's being done, bro. I don't know if y'all think it's a game what's being done, but it's crazy because we already talked about this on other casts. And I explained to y'all, bro, be very careful when you do things. We gotta stop doing things just to do things. I see a lot of people, they just do stuff. I'm gonna do it. For what? You're perfect. You're in the green, brother. What are you trying to prove right now, right? Like, you got to get to that point where you say, what are you trying to prove right now, brother? So that's the main thing. That's the angle that I'm at right with it. It's like, if you want to rush into stuff, get stuff, and stand on stuff, cool, bro. But at what point do you get back to apologizing and saying, yo, I made a mistake? The UK data, the Danish Scandinavian country data, the Russian data, the China data. We get into Australia data, right? We get into UK, Australia. Right now, just now, though, let me keep it even smaller in the content. Right now, we just received the Australia data. These are from all doctors. These are not just people. Johnny come lately is just trying to say something about something they don't know about. This is real doctors trying to speak about something that they just. And all we want right now is information. Information. The Freedom of Information Act, damn near. We want to be produced. However you produce that, produce it. Give me the facts. Give me the data. Turn over. UK data. Australia data. And the Danish data and the couple of Scandinavian countries. Not all of them, but not all of them was on the actual paper that we looked over, but she said it's the same thing across all of the Scandinavian countries, basically. Based on the weather, based on the diet, based on a lot of the similar things that they all do, based on, you feel me? So, we about to wrap this up, though. I'm thinking one more minute.
It's almost like there was pressure not to report vaccine injuries. Am I going too far to say there was pressure not to report them?
No, I don't think you are with the COVID vaccines. I can't talk to other vaccines and the history of other vaccines. I suspect, like all things, other people have probably had vaccine injuries in the past and didn't report them. And I can't, I can't comment on that. But I've had, a large number of people that I've spoken to, and I've spoken to a lot of people over the last 18 months, say that, their injury wasn't written down as a vaccine injury. I've also had a Queensland Health employee come to me and say that she was sacked effectively because she was told by a doctor to take off the fact that a 38-year-old pregnant woman died a day after receiving the vaccine. And she was told, she was a administrator clerk, who kept the record of all the details, and she was told to remove the fact that she was vaccinated from her record. And she's had to move interstate. So there's some of the stories that I've been told throughout this period, which is just disgusting. And I've also been contacted.
Yes, I mean, we talk about these numbers, but when you get to the individuals at the end of the day like that, it really does have an impact.
Oh, absolutely. And that's unfortunately the least of it, because many people who've been injured have had their injuries gaslighted and they haven't been able to get proper medical support, number one. And number two, they haven't been able to get financial support for their loss of income because they can't work, which I think is even more dreadful, which of course then leads to the mental health issues of being unsure how you're going to pay your mortgage off. I've spoken to a number of people that have not been able to go back to their jobs as a result of their injury, and I've actually had 400.
You're telling you, bro, like y'all just sit here and it just everybody just take it lightly and not that bad. I don't know if y'all saying that. Maybe y'all not saying that, but it's terrible, bro. It's fuck. This is messed
I'm from
up.
that dust on that floor. I was a nigga you could've trust, nigga. Here would've got bust by my nigga. Felt that cup, fuck nigga told. In my hood, it ain't no luck, young niggas keep moving rough. Niggas really don't give a fuck, swear it's a cold change. You ain't really stepping your own, nigga hit you close range. They ain't giving no welcomes, you ain't did this to the dope game. They just keep discovering all them bodies tied to no names. Parents hooked on cocaine. Them niggas beating down them bloods, they turn the flame on. Death of my cousin made me lose and I can't aim wrong. Trying to find somebody else to blame, let's get this pain gone. Said it's still a couple fuck niggas I gotta rain on. Young nigga hang on. Too many lies in your ear, they don't despise, they just feed. Cause your bank loan, wrap them pies in the bowl before it's ready. Bitches sold, niggas switching on them codes. Getting too hot, don't get your name on. Please don't get burnt by that red. Cause a fool will put them stones in your head, yeah. Streets on lock, nigga, we cut them up and drop off. One false move and take a top off. Reach into the harvest, dig deep cause you the hardest, ayy. Please enjoy the rain, don't let the change look obvious. Tired of all the politics and mention anger. Hey, money will turn a nigga to a stranger. Hey, they got it out for me. So indecisive with my pouch, keep this trap bubbling. This for them late nights, dealing with them great rice with fake rice. Race pikes, hate why, really why you play nice, your heart fade. Still smiling on my dark days, causing too much damage, screaming the manager, we had to part ways. Don't need love, young niggas stay focused in them blessings, they gon' creep up. Different ties to monetize, but they gon' see us. Cut your sunrise, deliver broad shit on the rap burner. Some niggas ain't meant to see how them rats turn up. Show no sympathy, he need a back warmer. You gon' remember what that cat stumble. Play with that cheese and get this trap under. 7 me a clown, diving in this water, fuck nigga, ready to drown. You subscribe to be a menace, you gon' exit the clouds. Only raining for the moment, don't be the next to be the cow. Giving no fuck nigga flowers, I say please don't get burned by that red. Cause the fool will put them stones in your head, yeah. Streets on lock, nigga, we cut them up and drop off. One false move, take a top off. Reach into the harvest, dig deep cause you the hardest, ayy. Please enjoy the rain, don't let the change look obvious, ayy. Tired of all the politics and mention anger. Hey, money will turn a nigga to a stranger. Hey, addicted to the hustling, I ain't really seeing no stop signs. Watch them out front of these hoes, they playing cold, they like to drop down. But you ain't been in them toes, nigga, we send them through them hotlines. Fuck what they talking under the scope, nigga exposing, I'ma draw down. I'm fit to be one of the coldest, nigga, you can't control us. Took me on the trailblaze game, focus out and found the clover. Blossom one day, you see the sauce stage, you sell the lotus. Forever paid, roll it, bitch, I'm a boss and you can't even cope it. Reaching up for the stars with all my flaws, God holding my hand. Ross told me to buy the dip, don't put yourself in a trance. I ain't holding on to my little drip, I done developed my stance. Too many niggas behind the wall, spend too much money on stamps. Just see your ego, look through the peephole. Niggas be fairy tale, thugging nothing but some creep hoes. You couldn't hold your own water, you need a Lord, we know. Making deals to duck the time you was a hood hero. Fuck you. Please don't get burnt by that red. Cause the fool will put them stones in your head, yeah. Streets on lawn, nigga, we cut them up and drop off. One false move, take a top off. Reach into the harvest, dig deep because you the hardest, Please enjoy the rain, don't let no change look obvious. Hey, tired of all the politics and mention anger. Hey, money will turn a nigga to a stranger.
Thank you. We out of here. Thank everybody for support, man. Make sure you like.